feel like I should do that more often. Check, 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 check. It sounds so official. Check, 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 check. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Vodka coming in with the first. What's up, Vodka? How's it going? Welcome in. How are you doing? Micah, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for fixing the pin message. I apologize for breaking that. Bluey, what's going on? Coming in with a 40 stream streak. What the? That's crazy. Bluey, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. How are you doing? Con, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the support on the YouTube side. Con, what's new? How are you doing? Ivy, welcome in. How are you doing? Welcome in. What's up? Hope you guys are all doing well. It is Tuesday.
Larry.
Ain't that right, Larry? If you're still sick, I'm coming over there and slapping the sickness out of you. Well, I hope your new car drives pretty quick, because that was what I was just about to say. Surrounded by sick people. Con, I am one of the people surrounding you. I think I'm so it's crazy. I was telling you guys yesterday how it was like, it's been like this really weird stop and go where I've been like kind of sick, but then like I'll just get random bursts of like energy and feel perfectly fine. Right now, again, much like last stream yesterday, is just another burst of just like, man, I feel like crap. So I just like sat down on my desk. I'm like, oh my God. I was able to actually take a nap though, and I wonder if that's related, because I keep waking up in the morning and I'll feel really gross in the morning. And then I'll like, you know, take some medicine and, you know, get to doing some stuff, and I'll start to feel better. And yesterday I wasn't able to take a nap because I was so congested I couldn't fall asleep. But today I was able to take a little nap. And then I woke up and I felt like I just woke up in the morning. I woke up all gross and stinky. Well, not actually stinky. Maybe not that. Maybe not smelling that great right now, but you know. So I don't know. I'm a little guy. I'm gonna give the same disclaimer that I gave yesterday. So there's a chance that tonight might end up being a little bit on the shorter side. We'll see. We might only do like, you know, 2 hours of story reading, but it is what it is. We'll do what we can, and we'll hang out. But I appreciate you guys. We are like I said, again, we are streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. We're gonna be doing this for the foreseeable future. So you guys are able to pick and choose your platform, whichever one you guys prefer. We'll be live on either. Chats will show up on the screen. And I think I think that's it. I think that's all the housekeeping I wanted to talk about. Bluey, thank you for the hydrate. I'm gonna sip on some tea right now. It's been a weird day. How so? What's been weird about it? Woke up feeling kind of sick. Went to the gym anyway. Sickness got purged, but I'm all sore. Honestly, probably a fair trade. Is that what I should have done? Should I have just gone to the gym yesterday? Just fought the sickness head on? Got in trouble for being too good at my job. That has got to be the most Bluey coded thing ever. Is it like, damn, you're too efficient, I don't have anything to give to you? But good problems to have, I suppose, right? Unless it's, oh, I'm doing too much work. Listen, I also am a bit of an overachiever and an overworker. I get it. It's very easy to accept a lot of things and take a lot of things in, and that's costing my company too much money. Oh damn. All right, well, in that case, take a break. Take a little vacay, baby. You deserve it. See, I thought you were gonna then hit me with like I'm also salary, so I'm getting screwed. But no, if you're make that money, baby. Do it. Gotta support number one. But yeah, I like to be super efficient, and I always will take on a lot of stuff, because I always find that if I have a lot of things that I need to do, I'm way more motivated to do them, as opposed to if I have a few things that I can do, I will put them off. Basically, like I have this like minimum threshold where once I hit like X amount of things that I need to do, I will start ripping through them really quickly and really well. Because if I have too little, I just let them sit. Because it's just like, it's whatever, you know. So they want me to be salaried. It was just how it started. Oh no, if you lose out on that, I would try and stick to hourly if possible. Whose boss decided his steak is too juicy and shower too warm. Unbelievable. They're trying to take everything from them. You're a pressure makes diamonds kind of prince. Yeah, exactly. So I like a little bit of a fire under my ass. It helps me make sure that things get done. Because like I said, otherwise I'll just kind of like put it off and be like, it's whatever. Like I'll still get the things done that like need to get done, but you know, I'm not as motivated. So that's me though. But yeah, like I said, I'm unfortunately again not feeling all that great. I don't know what is up. I'm starting to put some stocks in Bluey, what you said yesterday, with this like super flu or something. Like today's been way more head cold type symptoms as opposed to like congestion that the last week has been. So like one hit of nasal spray kind of did the trick for like today. And I've been hitting this like little mask thing that I got. I look like I'm hitting up like a rebreather or whatever. I'm gonna go underwater exploring like in Arknights. It's like a Vicks. What is it? Vicks Vapo Mist. It's like a mister thing. Day trading on viruses. Oh my god. The flu's been apocalyptic this year. It's crazy because I got my flu shot, but supposedly the one that's going around is like a different strand. It's like a different flavor. I don't get it. I tried my best. I try to avoid getting sick. I hate getting sick. I just get sick all the time. Or that's not true. I get sick very heavily about once a year. So, but yeah, where I'm at, you know, in the Northeast, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad around here.
I asked teacher. Fuck you, said my teacher. Who
That's
was
crazy.
The fuck you guy.
That's crazy. But yeah, if you guys are also not feeling well, definitely rest up, take care of yourselves, drink lots of fluids. I've been chugging water, drinking a ton of tea, taking it easy for the most part. Tomorrow I have to go to the dentist and get a haircut though, so I don't know if that's gonna be good. But also I hate my dentist, so maybe I'll go anyway. Maybe I'll go anyway to spite them. But I'll figure that out tomorrow. See how I'm feeling. I'd like to think that I felt a little better today compared to yesterday, but I don't know, this whole like second half of the day post nap feeling is kind of crazy. Why do you hate your dentist? They're trying to take money from me. They're trying to be like, hey, you owe us money. I'm like, hey, no, I don't. It's like I had dental insurance and they said that something was going to be covered by the dental insurance, and then they were like, oh, sorry, your insurance actually didn't cover it. I was like, all right, well, that's not my problem. Talk to the insurance. And they're like, okay, we'll talk to them. And then they never talked to them. And then like a year later, they're like, hey, so you still owe us this money? I was like, did you talk to my insurance like you said you would? They're like, oh no, sorry, we'll talk to them. And then it's like another year later and they're like, hey, you owe us money. I was like, did you talk to the insurance like you said you were going to? They're like, nah, no, sorry, we didn't talk to them. So I'm not paying that. I'm not paying it because it's something that should have been covered by insurance. So the powers that be can figure it out. I'm not paying for it. Or else we're gonna need to take a trip to Brooklyn prison and free a certain inmate over there who knows a thing or two about insurance, and not the president of a foreign nation that's also there for some reason. You know, like your dentist, my tip is to go to a dental school and have the students work on you. Oh, wait, hold on. That feels like a life hack. I didn't even know that was an option. Con. Hold on. You could just like, is that for any like trade or any like special? I was gonna say like a dermatologist or something, but I don't know. That's it. That's interesting. I think there's a dentist like by me though, like where I live now. I'm still going to my old dentist, so like realistically I probably should move anyway, but here be go have what is this, an internal struggle with yourself to resist getting Domino's. Don't get Domino's. Come on, man, come on, you're better than this. I know it works for dentists. That's really interesting. I think I might need to look into that. I think there's a lot of like medical schools around here, so that might be a life hack. Con coming in. Concon, what's new? How's the start to 2026 been for you? Hope it's I hope it's treating you well. Nice catching up with you. But yeah, so we're gonna be jumping back into Path of Life this evening. We ended on, I think it was BP4 after. I think we got through 4. We got through 3 and 4 last night. So we're gonna try and probably do like 2 more stories at least. Said we'll get however far we get. It is what it is. I'm not super worried about it, but I know that we have like a really exciting January. I think it was Windy that posted in Discord. They're like, hey, yeah, like the end of January is probably going to be pretty rough, because I think Micah posted the schedule, or Dust mentioned something about it at one point as well. With, I think there's, I don't know if it's a collab that's coming out, or if it's the anniversary event, or Enfield, or maybe it's all 3. Maybe it's anniversary, Enfield, and then a collab. Or no, there's like a CC coming out, right? Ugh. All 3 and more. Oh, great. Oh, great. Ugh. What's your impression of the Abyssal arc so much? Concon, I gotta say, I really have enjoyed it. Still to Pharaoh was probably one of my favorite stories that we've read. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the just like melting pot of viewpoints that that all conglomerated on that ship. It was a really interesting like mystery story. And then generally speaking, I'm kind of in the realm of like, I don't know if I really trust Ayer. That's kind of been my motto all Path of Life so far, is like, I don't really trust what they're about, because the thing that I keep coming back to, Concon, is why did they wait so long to contact the land? What is it that pushed them to this point, you know? And because they obviously had the opportunity, they knew that they were there, and they just looked down on the land walkers all this time, the land dwellers, derogatory. So I'm a little skeptical of everyone in Ayer currently. So I'll be interested to hopefully be proven wrong there. But it's been really enjoyable. It's been very creepy, mysterious. Collab should be like a week or so after Enfield launch. Anniversary's coming up with the supposed Delphine level threat. Wait, it's been promoted to Delphine level threat? Oh my god, I thought it was a Vendella level threat to start. Oh no. Oh no, it's category Delphine? Oh crap. That's dangerous. That's very dangerous. Leave Domino's alone for the price of slabs. No, you're right. Listen, I'm not gonna knock you for getting cheap grub. Do your thing. Get the body wants what the body wants, you know? I don't trust Ayer, but I trust Spectre. I love Spectre. Okay, yeah. In terms of characters, I think Irene's probably my favorite so far. I really love Irene. Spectre's great. I do like Scotty, but obviously she has her problems. And Ulpianus is such a complicated character, because like he's giving me nothing at all. He's giving me no reason to like him, but I like him. I know it's closer to Vendella than Delphine, but it's higher than Vendella. Higher than Vendella? I raised the threat because I heard a voice line. Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. Boy. Is that next week? Is that banner next week? Like, I'll have to plan my schedule out. I was just Kakashi. Yeah, literally. It's so funny. Kakashi Sensei, Kakashi and Jotaro. So funny. I do like him though, but he's got to give me a little bit more to work with. Say the week after, like in 10 days. It'll be a Tuesday update. If there's a confirmed date, if you guys want to let me know, just so I can try and plan around it. I'm starting to I want to ease up on that when it comes to spoilers. Like, if there's confirmed dates or like suspected dates, definitely let me know. I definitely want to take those. Anniversary stream's the 10th. That's like a Saturday, right? That's this Saturday. We should watch that. We should watch that if I'm around. Dates are okay. Yeah. Yeah, basically, Micah, the reason is like especially where we're having a little bit more variety in our schedules, and I'm getting some IRL things popping back up later in the week. I want just some heads up so I can move some stuff around if needed. It's the 16th of Friday. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to it. Friday patches are big. That's normally like AAA video game launch. 9 days, 14 hours. So next Friday? Okay, I can move D&D. That's no problem. Because is this one of the stories that I'm able to immediately dive into, or is this going to be one of the ones where? Actually, no. I probably won't want to do the story, but we'll do viewer polls and stages if it's an anniversary. But you can read it. Okay. The problem is I don't think we're gonna finish Path of Life in time, especially with me being sick, unfortunately. So we'll see. I don't care that much. I personally don't care that much. I do like to be able to dive into stories as they come out, especially anniversary ones, because they're kind of important. What was that? Whoa! What was that? If you have another Monday, Tuesday Arknights stream schedule next week, I think you'll finish Path of Life in time. Really? I don't even know what that was. What are you? Hold on to the I don't care that much. Oh, crap. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Because then I'll start to care. Then I'll start to get worried. And then I'll be like, oh, crap, guys. We got to make some progress. I'm constantly... all right, listen. Inside me, there are two wolves. It is Texas and Lapland, and they're having sex. Texas is saying that I need to stick to a strict schedule, and I need to keep going. I need to keep pushing forward. I need to keep making progress on these stories. And then Lapland saying, hey, who cares? Just, you know, everything's available at this point. Take it at your own pace. And I'm constantly going back and forth. Stormy, what's going on? Welcome in. How are you doing? Thanks for jumping in over on Twitch side. I know some other folks are over on YouTube side at the moment, actually. Lion does not concern himself with wolves. I love the Lion does not concern himself memes. They're so funny. I like finishing depends on how many questions you have and how much you want to discuss this stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Please talk to YouTube later on. No worries. Hey, I appreciate the support, man. Seriously. Thank you for making me feel justified in doing the multi-stream. I appreciate it. To finish the GFL 2 event. Oh, I haven't done any of the mini games, man. Tomorrow, like 2 p.m. at the gym. Driving to Costco sometime tomorrow. But I gotta do that before Fate Stay Night at 4. I wasn't getting up at 5. I'd have no time. I can't believe you're getting up at 5 now. Oh, reading part 2. Oh, interesting. Oh, because they don't immediately go to be available, right? They don't do that. I go with the Lappy Way vibe around since an anniversary event. It'll be up for 3 weeks. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm not, like I said, for this event, I'm not super worried about it. Because I think the thing is, we have a solid pipeline already. Why are you smiling? Am I gonna want to read it? Am I gonna want to read it? Actually do a Costco Yap stream. What does that mean? There's not even a Costco by me. I don't have a Costco membership. I could walk to Costco and get denied. That would be a stream, right? And then it's just me sitting in a Costco parking lot. I think it's a 50-50 between bro, y'all thought I'd care about this, and raw, I'm having sex with the story. Oh my god. Take a little bit, but eventually currently on CN will be the point where they're added to reread instantly. Ah, okay. One day GFL 2 will get their act together. I don't know, man. I don't know. I would like to... I like the option of reading. I'm leaning more 75-25 in favor of I'm having sex with this story now. Because of, well, you know? What do you mean, well, you know? I don't know. I don't know. Recapture and gun selector. Let's go. Hell yeah. It's not the direct focus. Are we going back to Lugman? Are we going back to Lungman? Are we finally getting Swire Alter? Swire Alter was 2 years ago. It's time. It's time for another Swire Alter, fellas. Every 2 years. You still can't play, bro. Join Bloom Platoon. Get over here. Join Bloom Platoon. Con Nozume, Windy, and I. We'll take you in. But I don't know about going back to Lungman, but oh my god, I don't even know what it could be then. Am I playing the guessing game? Do you want me to play the guessing game right now, or should I make like a bingo card? Make a bingo card, because the only thing that I think would be like, if it's standalone and it's not really, Lungman, but you're saying it's like, I'm basically getting Lungman adjacent. Because it's a summer event. Summer events are always random places. It's Higashi. That's my guess. We're getting a Higashi event. That's my guess. Lock in. Because that's the only one that I've expressed interest in that hasn't ever come up. So that's gonna be my guess. As for what's related, I don't even know who's from Higashi. So who's from Higashi? Fumizuki? Fumizuki's playable. Higashi that isn't Monster Hunter World. Oh, Monster Hunter. I think I want to say it's the JP Minefield. If they did it within 6 months, then yes. Or they did it over 6 months ago, so yeah, it'd be fine. Recently, I know that that's a problem. But I think if they did it 6 months ago, it'll be fine. So, oh, how young and hopeful you are. I feel like now you're reaching a, oh, I think I'm right. Spawn playable Fumizuki. No, I don't think Fumizuki would be playable. I don't even know who else is from Higashi anyway. There was Shirayuki. Oh, hold on. Let's go in the game. We can see it there. Go to the hit up the archives. All right. Higashi. Someone I don't have. Akafuyu Mizuki? Fumizuki. Saga. 3 immutable facts of Arknights. We're never getting a Higashi event. We're never getting a Minos event. We're never getting playable Munch. Who's Munch? Who's Munch? I feel like we'd get Minos at some point. But yeah, I don't know. Kazamaru would be cool. I like Kazamaru, but is Hoshiguma connected to Higashi? Is Hoshiguma from Higashi? I don't remember. Oops. Where are you from? Oops. Oh, you are from Higashi. Okay. All right. So unless it's related to like Hoshiguma, but Hoshigima's cool. Think about it from the character angle and the location. Ah, okay. Well, I don't know. Listen, because now the gears are turning. Now the gears are turning because let's say for a second it is a Hoshiguma story. And 2 years ago was Swire Alter, and 2 years before that was Chen Alter. That means that 2 years from today will be Lin Alter. The Lungman Polycule is destined to just get summer alters. I think that's what it is. I'm getting way ahead of myself. I don't even know what's coming out. So, all right. Path of Life. Path of Life. I just started operating under full assumptions there. Path of Life. So, we concluded yesterday with the sad revelation of Tullia's fate. Where Tullia turned into a little seaborn critter and lost her humanity despite the seaweeds. She was trying to hang on. Tullia's what? Path of Life. Imagine you had it the other way around, read Lungman Polycule. Wait, what do you mean? Like Lin before Hoshiguma? Is that what you're saying? Tullia's fate, say night. Oh my god. Lethal fate. Fate! The Air had forgotten the concept of fate, but must face theirs when matters spiral out of control. I don't think Lin would get an alter. We talked about this the other day, because she's like a fairly new character, and I feel like she's more tied to the greater Yan stuff. So she's involved in Sui things, so she wouldn't be a summer event right away, at least. But I don't know, she was docile, so who knows. All right, BP5 before. Let's dive back in. Just released IS6. Yeah, how much Sui stuff are we be getting? Ooh, okay, hold on. What was my theory with the voice logs yesterday, guys? I gave her the bikini specifically to refute the summer alter. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Remember what they took from us. My theory with the voice logs was this was something with that was found at the mantle, and this is kind of serving as the Ayers like guiding, like, hey, this is what you guys got to work towards, right? Like the Ayers are listening to the predecessors and know what they were about, and know of like the greater threats outside of the barrier and in space, and that's why they were focusing on rockets and things of that nature. Right, that was where I landed, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Repeat the first part. The predecessor stuff, like there's a lot of info about predecessors found at the mantle, and the Ayer are referencing that as like kind of like their guiding principle about how that's what they want to work towards, or like here's what they should focus on, and they, you know, share their knowledge about things beyond the barrier and the greater threat in space. That's kind of where my head was at least. Since that's so powerful as she is, she's already pretty much perfect design wise. I would just love it. I just want the watermelon, man. Honestly, I did buy that skin. But yeah, I think it'd be. I agree. It'd probably be too soon for another Lin. Not that I'd be upset. Give me Rat King. Give me Rat King in a bikini. Grok. Put the Rat King in a bikini. Finish my tea and then we'll read this voice log. If we made a 3D model for that Lin design and then gave us mid instead, bruh, yeah. The Dociles PV stuff was really good. I love Dociles. Dociles was so good. Fuck anyone who says Dociles was bad. Dociles was good. All right. The voice log number 33. Unknown language, unknown time.
Stargate's remodeling plan is an apparent success, and we have re-established connection with Talos. 2-year backlog of information's been flooding in. It is bare of any good tidings. First, it was the observatory stations on the asteroid belt and the entire system's interstellar hub. Finally, the cruise fleets orbiting hospitable planets also fell into silence. Even then, the ancient colonial fleet turned into a nomadic museum, not spared the same fate. Along with these shocking revelations came similarly unexpected data left behind by Valeria. The notes resembled her being long-winded and inexhaustible.
I don't think we've heard Valeria before. But aside from these logs. So yeah, I don't think she came up in 15. I want to come back to that though.
However, she seemed to have spent her last days repeatedly poring over literature and history alongside the technical documents, studying how these great men died, what their last words and epitaphs were. Like a child on the day before the coming-of-age ceremony, rifling through the parents' wardrobe in a frantic search for attire dignified enough for an adult. Did she find her own life inadequate, insufficiently weighty? No, she left practically all that she had at the Stargate, where she had lived in the past, but in her achievements have been inserted into the annals of history. But now it seemed nothing more than a narrow door opened between two tiny locked rooms in the dark. I fear it won't be long before the door is shut once more. In the end, the history of humanity has exceeded the bounds of humanity itself.
Clarification was what to hamstring you for forgetting Valeria. What? What do you mean? Not speedo racking? Yo, imagine they give us another old man. Imagine. Yo. No, they already gave us an old man. I'm tired of the old men playable characters at this point. Stargate is activating my neurons. Stargate is interesting. Plus Talos made us lose our shit because of Talos 2. All right, you guys said this was close to Enfield info, right? Little handy from Institute of Facility Management. Reading error occurred. 2. Run fault diagnostics. Jordy, do you need my help, Mr. Avitus? Hey, Soggy, what's going on? Welcome home. Oak ID, how are you doing? Welcome in. How's your day? You said, I don't think we've heard of Valeria outside of these logs. I mean, and you added the hospital. Oh, okay. No. Yeah, no, I know she's been the one that's been mentioned in the logs. Avitus, what voice are you gonna have today? I wonder. Oh no, I was merely observing the abandoned little handy. Abandoned? By who? Don't worry, that's not important. What brings you here, Jordy? I'm hoping to find something to do. We're clearly in dire straits, and I'm sure the city is full of problems in need of solving. They won't just reveal themselves to me. Generally speaking, in that situation, you should go to the Institute of Development Planning for assessment. However, if you were to look at me specifically, I am trying to I'll try my best to help you out. You're a highly experienced and respected scholar after all, and many in the city call you Magister. Magister. My last work was The Death of Life, a book with no educational value whatsoever. I read it actually, although I couldn't understand much with so many cryptic words like starship, Stargate. It seems like from another world. They're writing about the stuff that they... Oh. Hold on, what's the name of that again? The Death of Life. Oh, interesting. Is he extrapolating information from those logs and about the predecessors and writing it? I know they mentioned it, but I haven't, but I didn't know what it was necessarily about, or maybe I forgot everything that was discussed about it. And maybe it's just since it's right off the coattails of that voice log that it's sticking out a little bit more. Can he be Texan? There's a few people with some southern accents. Clemency and Gladia discussed it and said that Avitus basically compiled it. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Larry.
No. It ain't so. Naomi, what's going on? Welcome in. How are you doing? Happy Tuesday. How's your 2026 been? Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. What's new? Not Larry, evil Larry. Can you believe this? Well, Micah's finding some info on the book. Another world. Ha, you're right about that. But I find myself undeserving of the title Magister. Oftentimes I find myself lost in confusion. Geordie, do you remember when I told you that blood ties were unimportant? I do, but I may have been a bit misleading. While we indeed care little for blood relationships themselves are an excellent lead to follow. When one is lost, one ought to find a connection to reality, be it a life or an ideal, and seek a way out. Otherwise, you'll end up like me, sinking into an extended questioning of the value of your own existence. If I may be so bold, can I ask what your own relationship is? Jordy's talking without spaces in his sentences. That's crazy. Having fun? Let's go. Good to hear. Good to hear. Appreciate you stopping by. I've just only ever found the diary by accident. Run 3.
Larry.
Not again. The mantle ruins. Are they worth anything? But gathered dust in the county. Just said. Oh, right. No. That's right. Because it says it's unknown language, and I forgot that I did bring attention to the fact that he translated it. Didn't I call him a linguist? Okay. Avitus. The poor guy, maybe it's fitting. Maybe it's fitting that he has all these voices then. If he's truly a linguist, he speaks all the dialogues, he has all the voices. It makes sense. I was just ahead of the game. I read him like a book. Not his book, but a book. My familiar. How exactly? She shared the same thoughts and goals and would enrich both my body and spirit. Both my spirit and my ideas. I loved her ardently and loved her as well as everything we've done for it. More of a historian than a linguist. I don't know. I feel like translating ancient texts is pretty linguistical, right? Linguistical. Linguist is a slur around here. That's crazy. What's up, Azure? Happy Tuesday. How are you doing? Voice log diary of a precursor, one who traveled to Terra. Avitus compiled it in a more readable book audio version. Wait, did he not translate it? He just compiled it? He seemed to, well, because Jordy said he read it and he just didn't know what certain words meant. So 30+ minutes of constant stalling. You mean me? I did that yesterday. Accidentally. The L word. Yo, hard T. That's crazy. You can't say that. Gonna get in trouble. Mods. Kidding. I live a life surrounded by mountains of prehistoric material written in their strange script and incomprehensible grammar. I enjoyed the process of translating it into Agarian text. See, he is translating it. That was how we met, and I still remember how she'd thrown herself into her work. Her eyebrows seemed to dance whenever she talked about something of interest to her. And when I told her so, in those exact words, she actually went to the Institute of Physical Art to find out if eyebrows could dance for real. Well, what a strange form of art. Did they manage it? Next line, literally. Strictly speaking, no, but some of their researchers were inspired to later develop the technology to make hair dance on its own. It's crazy. We've experienced a catastrophe that silenced the entire sea, and the seaborn continue to threaten our existence, but we remain committed to exploring science, art, and our vision for the future. Lava bridges that pump power from the planet's mantle, aquatic artery hubs that transform currents into fountains, artificial suns illuminating the depths of the oceanic abyss, and ecological bases filling the barren seafloor with life. We persist in transforming what is the predecessors lost into mystical megastructures. We need only a spark to spur on countless interventions. What do the Seaborns look like? The silly little creatures, the little blue guys. We've seen like one or two. In this event, at least. Morning. What's up, you? How's it going? Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. How are you doing? I don't know if linguist so much as historian of a different text. All right, that makes sense. I see. I kind of figured there was like some level of linguist, but I can see where you're coming from. They're evil Smurfs. Yes, exactly. Underwater Smurfs. Ding 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 ding. Silly little creatures. Go to a stage and show off the Seaborn. I can do an auto really quick after this. I think I have the sanity. 150 years is truly too short. 150 years? Yes, the average lifespan of an heir. Short, you say? The more dangerous the era, the more valuable our creations become. We firmly believe in living fulfilling lives and would gladly have gone to our end without regrets as we passed down the fire of civilization. We planned an educational system we believed was better than the Institute of Incubation. Once our child was born via the incubator, we would raise them ourselves. They would possess a surging spirit and fresh ideologies and become part of a more creative generation. It is unusual to raise children personally, but we had hoped to pass on the values we treasured from the fulfilling lives we'd lived. Crazy voice. Silly little creatures can tank mini black holes. I know, but they're silly. So, what happened to her? Dead. Remember, the predecessor mentioned the death of life. He took shelter in an unknown refuge as he watched the sky pressing down on the earth every day. He already had a premonition of his own end. There was nothing he could do but calmly welcome its advent. But that's someone else's life, a life far too distant from ours. Is it though? Are we not currently going through the same things? Micah, you were talking about the parallels between Seaborn stuff and the predecessors, right? Me too. Dead, yeah. Just the blunt dead. Seaborn throw every shape at the wall and vibe along. We got Evil E, GG, Masochist Flower, Dog with Spiky, Extra Bony Fish, Kraken, Cute Jellyfish. They're just silly creatures. Where is Twink? We got the one with the helmet. We got the spitter. We got the coral reef guy. That one's the annoying creature. We got the silly creature that walks on all fours and dives into the water. Cannibal Twink. Didn't this one have like the armored guys? They said cute jellyfish. True. Cute jellyfish. Flower impaled with a spear. Give it 50 years, maybe 100, and even the vast ocean may no longer hold a single drop of pure water. The Seaborn have unwittingly overrun the ocean faster than we can create, devouring what we were once proud of, turning survival into our only priority. I watched as she was engulfed by despair. One day, she calmly gave up our idea of raising our child ourselves. After all, everything we have inherited would only be lost in an era predestined to perish. 50 years ago, the abyssal hunters went to the lair of the firstborn and no one returned alive. Until now, though. Soon after, she got sick and died in depression. Our son was successfully born in the incubator, but I sent him to the Institute of Incubation. This was also when I began questioning the meaning of my own existence. Ooh. My apologies, Jordy. I was supposed to be providing you guidance, wasn't I? I already severed my relationship with the real world, but perhaps you have someone or something you still have ties with. Damn. The midlife crisis? Well, the heir lived to be 150, he said. How long has he been around? Because so Abyssal Hunter program's been around for 200 or something years, I think. So they were so there was basically a whole generation spent prepping the Abyssal Hunter program for LPNS to become patient zero. The Seaborn conflict had been around 200 years. I thought they mentioned Abyssal Hunter was 200 years. The Flood from Halo and the Tyranids from Warhammer. Are they the ones that that can like groupthink and believe that they can, if they believe it, they can make it happen? IS mid boss Path Shaper, the epitome of Send Dudes. Cube of Death. Yeah, Seaborn take many forms. Flying Triangle. That's orcs. Okay. I see. But I gave up chasing Brogan long ago. I can't waste even more time chasing an unreachable shadow. Maybe I could delve into the notes he left and learn how he developed his tech. And not just because I might be his descendant, but because you also have talent and dreams in that field. You can try the Beacon Tower then. Brogan was involved in its reconstruction, so if you're familiar with his handiwork, perhaps you can help them out. Every heir leaves their own quirks in their writings, theories, or technologies, so sometimes all you need to sort out a trickier part is someone more familiar with the author. Thank you, Mr. Avitus. Arigato! Orcs are the ones that think purple make you stealthy because you ain't ever seen a purple orc? Ooh. That's a good point. Red paint. Who here has like played Warhammer? When we watched some stuff with it for the Game Awards, I had never really seen anything on it. I didn't really know anything about it. It was like people in like Fallout power armor shooting space orcs. It seemed kind of interesting. We find you the line Secunda said. Hey, speak of the Secunda. RTS version, I watched Lord Tenny vids. Yellow stripes for bigger explosions. Yeah, Warhammer. Soggy, you're a Warhammer person? I didn't know that. For the Emperor. Bucka knows who I'm talking about. Is that a Destiny type shit? Hey, Holyak, Elder Kugelkin, what's going on? Welcome back. How are you doing? Thanks so much for stopping by. How you been? No, I just like the occasional lore. Oh, interesting. That's cool. I know that like some people are like really into the lore. I know like some people have done like total like whole streams just like deep diving into the lore. That's cool. It's like my aunt when ants getting your drink it with ants anyway. Never seen an anteater with glasses, have you? Damn. What do you think about the voice logs themselves? Like, again, we talked about the parallels between Air and Precursor. What do you think more specifically, like how it talks about Valeria spent her last days just poring over history and literature and questions? Did she find her own life inadequate? Do you think the speaker is supposed to be an analog to Avitus or an analog to Cassia watching Avitus? Ooh. What do you think, given what we know about Babel and Doctor and Priestess? Oh, I haven't even tried to draw any comparisons to Babel. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Yeah. Well, no. Like I said, I think the fact that Ayer stumbled upon predecessor information and technology early on really shaped their civilization as a whole, and ultimately like how people hold themselves and like feel about themselves, right? So it would make sense that it'd be similar to how some of the Air folks are feeling. Mentioning Babel because the sequence of events was Babel 14 Path of Life. What a generational run of bullshit. Insane. Advisor Blandis, are you all right? Of course. The cultists failed to stop me from performing the surgery on the hunters. I'm asking about your physical condition. Thanks, Secunda. I see you're still. Given your strange aversion to medical aid, someone has to confirm you're all right. Although judging from your condition, I'm guessing I'm not the first one to try sending you to the hospital. Perhaps the waterway program's too overwhelming. I'm something of a doctor myself, so I... I do know how to keep myself healthy enough to not slow down the program anyway. Can we get a something of a doctor myself meme with Blandis? Oh my god. I'm something of a doctor myself. Are you kidding me? What was the exact line from the Spider-Man? Was it doctor or is it something of a scientist myself? Yeah, I'm something of a scientist myself. Something. Yeah, get something of a doctor myself, Blandis. Someone. It's important. What do you think about how it shaped air quality? The qualities that I'm mentioning, or I'm thinking primarily, Micah, is like just general direction. Like what they should be working towards, what they should be focusing on, and how they should just like kind of hold themselves. And that's more a theory, but that's like what I think has kind of rubbed off on them, and what they like they put a lot of focus on the, because I was mentioning yesterday, they put a lot of focus on the stuff for the space travel, or the you know, looking up into space and the stars and like the greater threat and stuff, but they got distracted by the Seaborn and they had to shift their priorities to, as Avitus just said, like literally just like survive and deal with the Seaborn threat. But their general goal has been continuing what the predecessors did. How they hold themselves. It's like their mentality, you know, like probably a little bit of that that ego, right? Photoshop his eyes into doctor's mask for extra points. Ooh, yeah, come on, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it. More in terms of societal values like independence. I think ego, you can look at it one of two ways: ego in like a cocky way, or ego in the psychological way, right? We could go into a rabbit hole of the like id, ego type stuff. I'd rather not because I'm not feeling 100% and haven't brushed up on it recently. But let's go psych degree, hear it. No, stop. Don't test me. I did more I was always more of a like researcher. We had to take like statistics and research methods classes, and that's where I really enjoyed it. So we got to like create like psychological studies that we could do and run them, and we could, and I assisted a bunch of professors with their research throughout my time in college too, which was a lot of fun. I'm gonna just brush up on Freud stuff. Freud stuff is it's the founding stuff, but it's like, all right, bro had a little bit too much hyperfixations and was a little bit on the freaky side. But I really did enjoy learning about that. I wish I had more space in my apartment, because I would definitely get, like, I have all my textbooks and stuff, but they're at my dad's house. So I could get them, but I don't have that much space to fill it. The guy that did enough coke to kill an elephant had some problems. He had a few, but he also knew what he was talking about, because it was kind of the foundation of psychological studies. But you know, all the like all the maternal, oral, anal stuff. Maybe I should do some lines too. Yo, share. More cognitive therapy side. Freud features much less. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was more involved in like research stuff, and then also since I told you guys I have 2 degrees, I got a criminal justice degree, or criminology technically. So it did a lot of psychoanalyzing like criminals and things like that, which is a lot of fun. So both respective fields had like little crossover episode classes. So there was like a psychology of crime, and then there was also like a, you know, like diving into criminal psyche stuff. Smart. You know, listen, everybody doubts me. I told you guys I went to Yale. Probably you guys need to listen to me. Okay? Everybody thinks I'm dumb. Everybody thinks I'm dumb. But actually, pushes up my glasses. Actually, yeah, I did good in school and I'm a pink boy online. Can you believe it? Can you believe bro graduated with freaking, what was the abbreviation? Or what's the, shit, what's it? Hold on, what the fuck's it called? Right. Oh, magnum cum laude or whatever the fuck it's called. Latte? Not magnum cum laude. Magnum cum latte. Whatever the cum latte. Cum laude. What? Magnum cum. Whatever the fuck it is. I had like a 4.0 GPA. Fuck you guys. The Birdman questions why the flame bit him after he stuck his hand in. Hey, you should psychoanalyze Lapland someday. That would Con, that would be so fun. I should absolutely. Okay, hear me out. Imagine we grab all my old textbooks and I flip through them and we start to just psychoanalyze characters. That'd be so fun. Magna, not Magnum. Yes, Magna. That makes more sense. I didn't remember. Listen. I told you I'm a pink boy online now. Now all that was for naught at this point. Now it's just I'm just a guy. And you stated before English was not my best subject. And we're in a reading game. It's true. Magma, what's going on? Buff pink boy. True. I am now strong pink boy. Great. I just like to be able to go full literature dissection English teacher mode because it pushes me to dissect what I've read even harder. No, I love the conversations. It's just like I said, it's unfortunately never been my strong suit. So that's why I want to give myself props when I want to give myself props when I do pick up on stuff. The heat map of IT majors, furries, Bigfoot sightings all line up. I do believe someone's smart as pink internet creature. I'll take it. In the game's environment, let's go. Hell yeah. Happy 2026, my friend. I was not valedictorian. There's a lot of smaller people. And I did go Yale. I did go to Yale probably. Do you get a precursor in the voice logs feeling like regret over this or just despair or like hope and nihilism kind of thing like Cassius seems to be doing? I think it's probably just like probably a despair sort of thing. It's just like futile. Didn't they throw the word futility around at one point? Or maybe that was someone else that said that. Yeah, you guys should listen to me. Punks pushes up glasses. Actually. Dope. All right. I'm something of a doctor myself. You know, you should take a good look at the plants the cultists were using to kill people. It's difficult to imagine someone at the Institute of Ecological Art using it as paint. Oh, Micah, were you here when I made the comparison of Mumu to Clementia? Where I put them side by side and I said that they looked kind of similar. I don't know if you were here for that. Well, seeing how you're not in any immediate danger, I'll need you to cooperate with my investigation. I saw Ulpianus recently. I see you have too. Only briefly at the Sophon Theatrum. He did see him! And you didn't report this? Catching a momentary glimpse of a familiar figure is hardly worth reporting. Forced smile. I'm not joking around, Advisor Blandis. The data scientist's case has been confirmed to be a murder by the cultists, and it may be related to the assault on the lab. Ulpianus seemed to know the victim well and openly expressed his distrust of Ayer. He's always been like that, more action than words and ever unwilling to reveal his reasons. His unique style doesn't explain all the doubts about him. I still need to check if he's linked to several church cases. Secunda, do you really lack any other leads or suspects more worthy of investigation? Or should I ask, is this obsession with Ulpianus merely your own whim? Secunda, I'm the one who rejected your application back then. What did you just say? She thought OPNS rejected her? Bruh. I said it was me who rejected your application to volunteer to become an abyssal hunter. LPNS concurred, but I was the one who officially rejected you. Why? I saw your documents from the Institute of Development Planning. You'd written genetic research in the box asking for your aspirations. You only had to look at another file to see that becoming a hunter was another one of my aspirations. We considered you extremely talented, even among the participants of the Abyssal Hunter project. During our technical discussions, you were the only one to ask all pianists 10 questions in a row and get answers for all of them. The highest record for a freshman researcher. She asked questions. She's a... Oh my god, she's a teacher's pet. Was of the same mind, probably not for the same reasons. We're thinking about of that Valeria looking at her mother's life support pod with envy. Which is an interesting emotion. She's spent herself constantly studying history. Doesn't don't a lot of people isn't there like a theme or a trend where people that are kind of like nearing the end of their life will often get very retrospective when it comes to either like history or a lot of times religion, and people will try to cling on to something in their last moments. It's probably a little different than what she's doing, but the studying history is a very interesting thing to look at when you're going out. The early transformation techniques were dangerous and unreliable. We were always researching for a better integration method. It was ultimately your theories that advanced the program's technology. I considered it an honor back then, at least. The program itself is nothing to be proud of, Secunda. The concept was born nearly 2 centuries ago, a far cry from the average citizen's impression today. It was only 20-some years ago that LPNS made it into a reality. See? 2 centuries ago, 200 years ago, that's what was tossed around for the Abyssal Hunter stuff, guys. That's what I was talking about. Is this not what... Is this not what they're saying? Because they mentioned this a couple times. The idea was... okay. Okay. I see. Semantics. So it's been like something that had been mentioned, but it is a more recent development, as he just said. So it was like 20 something years ago. Okay. All right, makes sense. So basically, timeline was like, Seaborn become a threat. Pitch idea of Abyssal Hunters. Survive. Do Abyssal Hunters. On back foot. Still trying to survive. Present. More or less. In the 100+ years before that, I was never afforded any systematic scrutiny or research. Only endless debates. To exploit our countrymen and integrate the flesh of other species into ourselves to save our humanity was tantamount to toppling the very foundations of air. But Ulpianus is a decisive man. He can abandon his research, ideals, emotions, even his humanity without a shred of hesitation. The sole principle he abides by is to benefit air. Yo, I feel like he's fangirling right now. Does he like him? Is he into him? Perhaps he will save air someday, but our country should not be founded upon boundless self-sacrifice. Ulpianus understands better than anyone that his very existence is actually his country's woe. And so, the Abyssal Hunters do not need a second Ulpianus. Air should not have a second Ulpianus. There should be no one in air who wishes to become another. I could practically hear him saying him. What? Once joked to him how much better it would be if you were my student instead. Perhaps you could continue the research he and I used to work on, the evolution of Ayer's cells, or perhaps you'd start a new field entirely. you could have become one of the leading scientists of our time. The opportunity to explore the primordial mysteries of all existence and lead us into the future. Blandis, the two of you had no right. Yo, star moment makes sense. Is not doing something, regret that they didn't try something even if they failed, but it brings back to satisfaction is gained by taking actions that align with values. Does give our actions meaning. I'm sure if it's like the regret that she feels, but it's some kind of like crisis of faith. Yeah. Yeah, it's like that like kind of like awakening near the end, right? But yeah, so that's interesting. Bring that back up for me, Micah. Down the line of the fact that she looks to history. That's a really interesting thing, and not to make stuff too dare I say topical, but it is often important. Like history often does repeat itself, so it is very important to have a solid understanding of history. Like you need to be able to look at things happening in the world and draw parallels to them as they have happened in history and see what kind of things come after. And that there is true. That is knowledge there. That is powerful knowledge there. What's up, Stormy? Because you will then know that certain actions have quite large ripple effects, and certain things follow. Certain things will often follow little abductions. So, yes. Anyway. Landis, the two of you had no right. I'm sorry, Secunda. Did you start reminiscing about the old days just to tell me I shouldn't bear a grudge against Ulpianus? Did it so you'd see him in a new light. Being too eager to capture him will do neither of you any good. Aren't there cultists ready and available for questioning? Don't forget your duties, Secunda. Where are they? First floor, in a booth in the equipment administration room. Do you need me to show you the way? I know where it is. The Sea Patrol will take over the detainment of the criminals. I'm so sorry, but you can't go any further. We're currently... Wait, didn't I see you at the tribunal? I know who you are, the emissary from land. If you don't mind me asking, what exactly are your duties on this diplomatic mission? Is this Irene? Oh, it's me! It's me! Who, me? Who, me? Ulpianus! Excuse me. I feel like I always have to clear my throat before I speak in his voice. The data scientist seemed to have completely transformed into a seaborn by the time she was found. It would be difficult to obtain any further information from her other than the fact that this set of data seems related to the waterway and the beacons. I finished analyzing the contents. There are unusual data interactions between the beacon within the city and the ones deployed in the nests. The signals come from many spots within the city. I've already inspected the port hub and any possible ships. The only remaining location is Lab C-22, one of the earlier Abyssal Hunter experimental research labs. You should be familiar with the place then. However, it's far livelier here than I can remember it ever being. Secunda had even deployed the garrison in the name of protecting Blandis. A hindrance. I'll help draw their attention if needed. I can manage the Sea Patrol for now. You should focus on the toughest target. Mr. Blandis. You would be the Doctor of Rhodes Island, yes? The music changed. As you say, in the flesh. Hold on. No, he has tentacles. I didn't notice these tentacles before. He's a squid. He's Squidward. Woodward. Say your institution help diagnose and treat oropathy in our hunters. Octopus. Okay. Okay. And now you hope to assist me with your organic regeneration surgery. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm here for. Octowar. Are they square? I don't know. Looks like there's suckers on there. Need to hash that out of my brain. Report back. Report back. There's a lot on the individual and how the individual is activating and coping the depth. We get Irene, Jordy, Avitus, Cassia, but that's really interesting. The taking action on a global scale and learning from history. On side that with the analysis of Clementia versus what we've seen of Horatia. That's the lens that I'm looking through, Micah. I haven't my only thoughts on the individual stuff is through you. I've been thinking it much high level, much more high level. So it's interesting that we're taking these two different approaches to these viewpoints. It's like I said, all my thoughts on like Ayer stuff is very reactive to predecessors. You can leave with peace of mind. The church's assault here was just a minor episode, and the hunters have already returned to their hibernation. I'll be constantly monitoring their physical conditions, so your gaze, no matter how vigilant it may be, will be of little use in their recovery. I see the hunters were telling the truth. You really have a terrible sense of humor. I see they have developed deep friends with you while wandering about on land. Ooh, Blandis. Insist all you want, it doesn't change the fact that you will be of no help during the operation. I mean, no offense. The place was just recently raided, so please return to where you came from for your own safety. Blandis no longer pays you any attention, his gaze falling back onto the holographic projections before him. It's just like in a video game where the character runs out of dialogue. Through those squares, you can clearly see Gladia, Scotty, and Laurentina deep asleep in a transparent gel. You didn't manage to get a full grasp of Ayer's writing system before coming here. After days of fumbling your way through the city, you can still only recognize about half the symbols shown in the visuals. But you observe a more important phenomenon within them. Whenever Blandis selects an image, it would emit a faint beep. That is to say, every chosen image generates a corresponding beep on the monitoring unit. Could I help arrange the visual display? Of course, of course. I see you really want to stay. I won't force you to leave either. It seems you really do care for the hunters, and I like people like you. Little handy, the doctor's unfamiliar with the equipment in Ayer, so keep an eye on things. Understood. Doctor, as long as you don't touch anything you shouldn't, then... Uh-oh, I think I just touched something I shouldn't. Hey, we got him in! Corridor's monitoring unit just beeped. Someone's looking in here. Well, when did Prowler get that emote? That's so good. Oh my god. Another beep for the experimental cabin in front in their in the corner further ahead. Seems to be some sort of pattern. Someone in the control room's rapidly switching the order of the holograms back and forth. Doctor, what are you trying to tell me? This way, then. Nice job. Stealth mission. Hacker voice, I'm in. I need to tone down the English teacher drilling. But you say the exact words to describe your foci and analysis because of us following different threads of the story like this. Yeah, I feel free to keep probing me. And as long as you're okay with me just saying I have no idea what you're talking about, if it comes to that. So the operation's complete, Doctor. Thank you for your fast and furious cooperation. Fast and furious. Hell yeah, fam. Hell yeah, fam. Hunters will need another 10 minutes to awaken, but I guarantee the procedure went without a hitch. So if you could now leave. The hunters seemed to be deep asleep. They were unable to get any proper rest on land, despite what I'm sure was the best possible accommodation from you and Rhodes Island. Even now, they've only just arrived home, yet you must rush back to the front lines. Single operation and hibernation session is far from enough to restore them to full strength. Sounds like you tried your best. I wouldn't say so even if I fulfill my duties. The fundamental difference between the two, after all. I believe you mentioned your expertise in the field of orpathy. Could you tell me what it's like to be a patient? They fight their fate for the rest of their lives. Fate. Fate! Stay? Night? Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Benny_Bloom or youtube.com/@BennyBloom. Oh my god. That's crazy. Haven't fully taken it apart yet. Well, because this is something that they have no insight on. Maybe, unless there's stuff in predecessor text on it, right? Could be. Sorry. Means an inevitable direction or end. Interesting. The ancient sages once discussed the concept of fate, but it's been a long time since anyone has brought it up. You see, orpathy does not exist in the ocean, and most other diseases we manage to cure. We all choose our own paths in life. Path of life! And the trajectory of our civilization is ours to define. For the longest time, we've forgotten what fate even is. Yet now, the ineradicable disease we've engraved into our hunter's blood cannot be dealt with medically. Say that again. Borrow your concept, one may call such an problem fate. Eradicate, not eradicatable, ineradicatable, ineradicatable. Is that really what that was? Ineradicable. Yeah, weird word. Iridocyclitis. Why they gotta use all these big words? Stupid nerds. Ineradicatable. Close enough, Stormy. Each of the hunters held their own dreams, their own lives, but now they have no choice but to live alongside slaughter until they die themselves. Tried many methods to bring them back from this dead end, all to no avail. Even now. Claudia's awake, Laurentine is awake, Scotty's awake. Laurentine is awake. Seem to be in a hurry. I should get going too. It's been an honor to speak with you, Doctor. I hope you can take good care of them, if given the chance. I don't like the way you said that. What do you mean, if given the chance? Huh? Vector favoritism? Yeah, of the three for sure. Woke cat? Who's the woke cat, huh? Every family's got a woke cat, I guess. What does this mean? I hope you can take good care of them if given the chance. That's unsettling. Get the Squidward out of here. I agree. ... Freak. Well, that was just the before story. What the hell? What the hell? All right, Stormy. Not Stormy, sorry, Soggy. Soggy, here are some of the seaborn sea monsters. You see them? Look at these little creatures. Squidward. Yeah, that was Squidward. What's up, Bluey? How you doing? Bluey on the YouTube. All these like blue fellas. Absolutely very goofy. Fighting geometric shapes, literally. There's actual just creatures, just fellas. It could be respect to keep them safe if you end up commanding them, even though they're under the command of Aegirian military right now, not you. No, I think it's still. I think there is. He said it that way deliberately. In my opinion, listen, people don't use double meanings like that all the time. People say what they mean. We're Micah, we're entering the toxic yaoi section of the story, okay? We know that this breakup wasn't good, okay? It was messy. So like it's gotta to go to the yaoi dungeon. Took him to my yaoi dungeon and I freaked it. Right? No, I didn't go to a yaoi dungeon, should I? What do you mean LMAO even? Excuse me. Give me a second. Ugh. Took her to my Arknights and I freaked it. All right. I mean, if you want to come to my mystery dungeon? All right, BP5 after Lethal Fate. Let's keep it going. This story is supposed to be on the shorter side, right? I'm feeling like a little like I said at the start, I'm feeling like a little out of it, so I'm gonna go as far as I can. Sea Patrol here to interrogate me. Interrogate, ha. I never thought I'd have anything to do with that word. You should have thought of that when you intruded on the lab. What about before then? What makes you and I so different? Why interrogate me? What have I done to deserve being questioned? At times like these, I feel our methods are too gentle. According to our envoy from Iberia, they're more than happy to incorporate punishment into the process. Irene's gonna beat up Dr. Ratio, so if you're finished talking nonsense, state your identity. I'm a former roadside coral breeder. A breeder? Guys, should we get this guy pregnant? Motive? You ever paid close attention to the coral by the road, patroller? We hoped every cluster on every street would take on a different form or color, or even different capabilities. Transport tubes pass through the cavity-filled cluster on the east side of the Sophon Theatrum, and under the glimmering tubes of Polyps Glimmerback, a patchwork of dots of light. Like a nebula in miniature. Then there's the ones around the port. As it happens, I have been paying close attention to some roadside coral recently, specifically of the ones growing in your experimental field, where an innocent data scientist died. Her dreams, her obsession, her love for her seaweeds were as beautiful as the coral you speak of, but you murdered her. You asked a good question earlier. What makes you and her so different? So why are you still alive? What did she do to deserve death? She found what? Speak up. Or are you implying I should be asking Cassia this question? You. What is the church planning against the waterway program? Will you be attacking the beacon or the weapons? Speak. Church this, cultist that. I'm still not used to being called names like that. You sure they're not just convenient excuses for you to arrest people? This so-called church and its cultists, what part of them is holy exactly? I don't worship any kind of imaginary entity, I just agree with how Cassia sees things. From the despair engulfing Aya, she can see this nation's fragile nature. People place too much importance in the value of things, but are unwilling to recognize how fickle these values really are. They become worshippers at their altar. But now those values are crumbling away before Aya falls completely into despair. Someone must sound the alarm. Perry, you're just trying to loosen my lips. You won't get another word out of me. If you're feeling impatient, go ahead, scan my brainwaves. You won't get anything out of that either. Questioning you is the last respect I'll give you as a human being, scumbag. Maybe you believe yourself innocent and your actions free of conspiracy, but you will tell me everything I want to know. Now speak. Damn, police brutality in my Roman Empire? Never. Captain, it's almost time for us to leave, Scotty. I know it's urgent. The front line is barely holding ground against the seaboard. The loss of 2 entire fleets is really hitting us hard now. According to their most recent missive, Legions 8 and 10 failed to regroup into formation, and they are now mired in a bitter struggle. Took me a minute to read the Roman numerals, sorry. If the beacon cannot be deployed at the designated position within the nest and the deadlock continues, it will mean the failure of the waterway program. Understood. Also, the fact that they use Roman numerals and they're supposed to be the Roman Empire is kind of funny. The Legion fleets are about to launch an offensive across the entire front at all costs, all to attract the Seaborn's attention. As for us, squeeze through the battlefields, infiltrate the nest, and deploy the beacon. Correct. How would you rate your current condition, Scotty? I got some good sleep, at least. My first dreamless sleep since our last campaign. The situation in the city is getting more restive. Do you know where the doctor has gone? I know you want me to keep the peace and protect the doctor, Captain. You want me to stay? To be honest, I'm conflicted. Cleansing the sea of its dregs is our duty, but I'm also responsible for your safety. Have there been any signs of a Sharmla stirring since we returned to sea? Ooh. If it has, it's been real quiet. If it speaks up, I'll shut it up. Actually, I've got something to say to you, Captain. We've never been this cautious in our work before. We had our ways of handling this sort of thing. If the church's god, the one scum call is Sharmla, really is inside me. And if I ever go out of control, I want you to execute me on the spot. Simple as that. Damn. Damn, Scotty, what the heck? I mean, that's kind of noble of you. And Opianus would agree, but I'm curious to see what Gladia says here. My heart's right here. I trust you won't miss. Scotty, I'm not finished. If you or Shark start to fall under their influence in battle before I do, I won't hesitate either. What I was going to say is that with war close at hand, I can imagine nothing more reassuring to hear. Let's go. Brothers in arms, right? Miss Laurentina? Irene! No need for that dreary, honorific little bird. Like, we're not strangers, are we? Laurentina? Like, considering how we've been in this city, I'm surprised this is the first time we've run into one another. This is sad. I've always wanted to take our brave little warrior out on a real hunt in the depths. Sadly, the nest we're headed to is too far and too deep. No way to bring you along. It's alright. Even if I had the option, I'd stay in Malarium regardless. Oh? There's been a lot happening in the city lately. The first time I wore deep water equipment and entered the ocean, I was immediately knocked about by the current. I hate to admit it, but I'd be dead weight out there. No need to talk like that. The first time is always rough. Anyway, I can do a lot more in the city than in that nest. And once you've completed your mission and Ayer's weapons systems start cleansing the area, I'll have to return to St. Carmen and make an urgent report on why the sea surface has changed. Ah, so you meant we were to be parted once more. That's right. I'd be offering you all farewell gifts, but I wasn't expecting this before we left Malarium, so I have nothing to give. Farewell gifts? What do you mean? Why are you blushing and shit? Oh my god! What? Give her a kiss on the lips then. Don't worry about it. We'll meet again. Like, while we won't be needing to drag you from the sea half drowned this time, I have a feeling our next reunion will be unforgettable in its own right. Oh, look, Scotty and Gladia are coming. Irene's having gay panic, guys. Oh my god. Valley Girl Spectre, interesting choice. Seems more like a theater kid to me. I can see that. But she also gives Moo vibes, and I gave Moo Valley Girl, so Irene's gay panic is great. I love it. We can sort of something the passive aggressive backstabbery of a corporate workplace where everyone has to be polite. Landis has been very interesting in how he's been trying very hard to stop people from being harmed. It's just that he's doing that to people who have very clearly demonstrated that this is a price they are willing to pay, and they want to dedicate themselves to this cause. He's an interesting guy. I don't know. It's tough to read any of them. I have a lot of walls up in air right now. I don't want to trust anyone that didn't come down with us. I think the only one, honestly, I think the only one deserving of trust right now is Secunda. I actually have really liked Underflow so far, despite the fact that she's just a cop. Anyway, this line's great. Oh, look, Scotty and Gladia's coming. Take care of yourself, Laurentina. Finished with your chat? Yes. It's past time we left, hunters. Hunters, roll out. Speak of the doctor. Seems you got the evidence you wanted? Yes, you've been of great assistance. Not going to fill me in, so what's the verdict? As previously mentioned, there are unusual data interactions between the beacon within the city and the ones deployed in the nests. It seems the bulk of the work was handled by Lab C-22, namely the facility we just infiltrated. While I do not fully understand the principles behind the beacon system or the Class 4 weapons, the contents of these interactions can still be inferred. Coordination between the beacons and the weapons has been altered. As I surmise, the waterway program has been infiltrated at the highest level. As I surmise, did you doubt the program from the start? Correct. Even before it was conceived, I had my doubts about Ayer. From where? That decisive campaign. Look at him looking off in the distance. You were meant to kill the firstborn, but you lost contact with your team. Scotty was left to take the burden. As you already know, Scotty trusts you more than expected. Put it together from what she said. She's not sure what happened herself. The dereliction was due to a moment of distraction. In a cave, or rather a cavity closest to a Sharmla's core, I noticed something that should not be there. Crude piles of meat, turbid mucus. At first I assumed they were nodules of its body, and I saw clearly the measuring scales and flow channels around them. Corroded water flow meter. One from Ayer, a design hundreds of years old, one that now exists only in museums. Hundreds of years old? Based on the degradation it had sat within a Sharmla's body for 2 centuries. Huh? But I've been told that no other Ayer had ever managed to reach the firstborn before us. That is to say, before Ayer was even aware of it, people had secretly come into contact with the firstborn. The undercurrents beneath tranquil Ayer are more turbulent than anyone could imagine. I also found something odd while you were out. As soon as the hunters awoke, they left. They are being used to break the deadlock at the front. You can imagine the mission they have been assigned. Bypass the front lines, advance to the nest and deploy the beacon. First support, now the linchpin. It's too quick. The advisor seems more anxious than them. He left the lab at the first opportunity. Landis. And I fear we too must act as quickly as possible. Coordination between the beacons and weapons has been tampered with. There's only one place to go. Core of the waterway program, the beacon launcher. I love how our first interaction with him was him saying, don't move or say anything or I'll break your neck, and now we're working together. Classic fashion, right? Hey Wendy, how's it going? Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. How are you doing? Suspicious. Yeah, so who would have come in contact with the firstborn 200 years ago? Works fast as nothing else. He's an efficient man. He's an efficient fella. You know, Hunters, where is Adriana and all this? Is she supposed to be tangentially related to this mess? Didn't people say that Adriana is like only an abyssal hunter, like like an Abyssal Hunter cosplayer or something. Cosplays an Abyssal Hunter. How do I make you hydrate from here? I'll humor you, Bluey. Thank you. One free one on the house, on the rocks. As for you, I'll go see the one who gave the order. Consul Clementia. All right, that one was nice and quick. Soggy, thanks for the hydrate as well. Finish my water. Good thing I got another. All right, how long is BP6? As much as I don't trust Blandis, he generally does seem to want to minimize casualties. Well, that is good at least. Anathema of Air. What Air represents has never been justice, but the dignity of humanity. The dignity of humanity. Dignity is an interesting word to use there. Anathema. Anathema. We're back underwater. Ah, what a stench. All these years and they still won't make better camouflage cream. It wouldn't do any harm for us to at least smell different from the seaborn, you know. True. Imagine smelling bad. Don't move so much, shark. It'll only make the smell stronger. Scotty smells bad, we know.
Anathema.
Anathema. Anathema. Thank you, TCS. Anathema. I don't know. I liked got it right. Thank you for the 100 bits, Mike. I liked the freaking, what was it? Anesthetized, whatever it was. It was great. We should do a this is a little longer than that's fine. Yeah, I think if we can get through BP6 in its entirety, we'll be solid. Should consider doing a TTS what do you call it?
Anesthetized.
Bluey kicking off a hype train with that. Oh my god. Thank you for the 100 bits. Anesthetized. Thank you, Bluey. BP6 after is it long? Thank you. Yes. Sorry. Thank you. If we could get a huge Micah W in the chat for their kind support and Bluey W in the chat for their kind support. Thank you for the bits. Kicking off a hype train. You guys are very sweet. My goal will be to get through BP6 if possible, but yeah, I'm a little, like I said, I'm a little kind of out of it, unfortunately. Let's go. There we go, baby. I like the sound effects with the underwater. A little bit of a lock-in payoff moment. You may want to talk over. We'll see how it goes. Play it by ear. Play it by ear. Nothing wrong with a little cliffhanger, right? When you smell this much like a seaborn, I might hack at you on instinct. The whole plateau is trembling. Those giant worm-like seaborn are tunneling through the rock beneath us. Stay concealed. Look at the seaborns, they're cute. Vacuole lightly trembles. Core shudders fiercely. Now kill him. Look at those numbers. Honestly, between the currents and the seaborn, who's carrying who? They're flooding towards the front line. I can't imagine what the soldiers there are fighting through. Snap out of it, Scotty. You'll crush your hilt doing that. We mourn those on the front by best completing our mission. Thanks to the Legion's fleets containing the seaborn swarm, we were able to slip in and plant this beacon deep in the nest. Even a signal plant could alert the seaborn to us if it happens to be assimilated. There's no room for negligence on our path forward. The great bleached coral will cover us as we dive for the depths of the rift. So are they basically like a Black Ops team? I thought they were supposed to be considered the Vanguard. Why are they like, why are they literally like a special forces? Like diving in. I guess that makes sense. Like they do give special forces vibes, but kind of funny. Yes, Captain. No one else can fight the Seaborn like that. True. Oh, this guy. This was the guy that had a southern accent, right? The tower technician. Why are the super soldiers special forces a mystery for the... Shut up! You need to word it like that, okay? you know what I meant. Maybe. I don't even know what I meant, okay? Just funny to see him in action, okay? The way that they're meant to be. Jordy, right? Fast learner. A lot of students come here on work experience with all the operation protocol. It never takes more than a day for them to slip up. You, though, picked it up just by watching for a little while. You done this before? Just a bit. I've done some work in an Iberian lighthouse. The beacons share a few principles with it here and there. I see, so you're into engineering. Explains a lot. I've worked longest as a caregiver, though. He didn't ask. They have the same function as we use them in gameplay. They have the catch-all solution for anything that needs killing. True, they're the effective killing machines, right? Caregiver, what kind of job's that? Watching over the sick and elderly and taking care of their daily needs, sorting out all the little things for them. Kind of like a hero. Gotcha. So it's like slapping little hand in modules 153 and 274 in at the same time. But the little handy's impersonal, right? That's correct. You look taut as a wire, Jordy. This isn't an exam on air general knowledge. I just want to ask, if the little handy has no personality, how is it supposed to meet the emotional needs of its patients? Oh, Jordy, now we are getting to the part where you will maybe realize that everyone down here is emotionless. For the most part. You are the exception. To care for people is to meet them in their weakest, most vulnerable moments after all. I'd say physical frailty doesn't particularly inspire emotional needs in us. And if we're headed for the grave, even with illness, we don't feel especially vulnerable either. We do let the old sin sick request some final company before their euthanasia, though. Usually a leading philosopher will come in. Scholars from whatever field in general, really. Euthanasia? Man. At any point, force that needs to break a deadlock with a small number of people. Yeah. Jordy will realize that everyone under the ocean are kind of jerks. Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, everyone around Jordy's kind of a jerk to him, to be honest. So. But they're especially a little bit on the pompous side. I know nothing about philosophy. I just talk to them about the most banal things. Food, flowers, sunshine, and so on. But for some reason, they're always so happy to listen. You're a great guy, Jordy. Oh my God, the reassurance he's been looking for. Coming from a bearded man, not the small bird girl. That shows how keen you are at grasping people's moods. No promises, but something tells me you'd shine in the Institute of Development's planning or Institute of Incubation, too. Could I? His ears all blushing and shit. Regardless, thank you so much. Arigato gozaimasu. I finished resetting the storage facilities here. Wonderful work. Now about... Wait, you see something zip past the hologram? What? Hey, Opianus. Intruder. Hey guys, look, it's Opianus and Jordy. You, young man, you saw none of this. You have no reason to complicate things. You saw nothing! You saw nothing, Jordy! You saw nothing! Oh, wait! Shark saw will be too loud. Scotty, you open the way. Cut through this cluster as quietly as you can. All right. Ooh, pretty. But an instant, the invading hunters are bathed in vivid color and indistinct light. That which the Iberians call Nethersea brand creeps across the coral layers, the spawn of the many lilting in their craggy nests. Eggs are swept from this cliff face as the currents pass, metamorphosing as they spiral down indescribable folds, yet unfolding until a seaborn form emerges. Little guys. Soft membrane stirs, nascent seaborn. What does nascent mean? Motionless is an interesting word for it. I'd say less than motionless as opposed to disconnect. Ooh, disconnected is pretty good, yeah. But I think they're relatable. They're related in a sense. Losing his familiar made him disconnected from reality. I just watched that Sculpture short. Has Benny ever used S3 after that? No. No. I still haven't tried it. What's up, Golf? How are you doing? Thank you for the support on the shorts. How are you doing? Welcome in. So smartphones could survive these depths. Spectre would do a selfie here. Absolutely. That's why I'm telling you the voice fits for Spectre. Spectre is a Valley girl at heart. She would absolutely take pics for the gram, and she'd have a boatload of followers too. No pun intended. One D&D story about a guy who played an orc rogue but put all his points into intimidation instead of stealth, so whenever his 8-foot ass inevitability got spotted, it would shout, "You do not see Grug," and roll intimidation and succeed. Oh my god. Inevitably. Oh. That's impressive. Intimidation. Intimidation checks are good. I love having high charisma stats in D&D. I told you guys one of the characters that I played was a noble Ojo-sama that had wizard that had a really high charisma stat. So I was just doing like psychological manipulation on people. It was great. I was doing like charm person and stuff all the time. Persuasion checks were my bitch. Priest skin shudders. The newborns silently gather together, their trembling bodies echoing all throughout their nest. Intertwining palps and feelers, they sweep each other off or far away. They just keep on leaving the nest, rushing for the front line. Wait, don't you think something's off? How did that one turn into a whole bunch out of nowhere? What is it doing? Multiplying? Splitting? I've had this gnawing feeling ever since we bailed out the fleet. Swordfish, have these assholes evolved even more? The Seaborn are forever evolving. Scotty, can you remember the first Seaborn you ever killed? Not really, just that it had a lot of gross tentacles. That's what I mean. Tentacles, stingers, chitinous shells. We could still discern the organs, identify their functions at a glance. Prior to this, the Seaborn's only skill was to hijack whatever evolutionary progress other species had accrued over the epochs. But now we've got these things. These little creatures. I can't begin to tell what their organs are. If I didn't know better, I might not even think to connect them to the fodder we were slaughtering just 3 months ago. The Seaborn's needs have outgrown the evolutionary advancements. They've begun seeking their own answers, which means their evolution course now transcends our knowledge. If we are unable to gloss their physical composition, unable to discern their organs' unique functions, unable to predict the direction they will evolve, we won't know how to kill them. We could fetch a specimen for Advisor Blandis while we evacuate. Still, the mission takes priority for now. Scotty, you and I will find where the wall hasn't been branded, embed the beacon there, and activate it. Laurentina, spot our surroundings. We withdraw as soon as it's planted, without delay. Like when you go back and look at Undertide's enemies, Soltifera, IS3, they are a lot weird shape things now. You're right. Notice how the enemies themselves, yeah. They've always been kind of blue though. you want to have enough of copying other people's work, now they're trying to make their own stuff with interesting results. The training wheels are off, okay, and they're treading water a bit. They're trying their best. Like, it's like when a kid learns to draw for the first time, right? Do you usually play the same type of character, or do you change it up often? Just curious. So I've only done like 2 campaigns, and I'm DMing so I've had 3 instances with D&D. 2 campaigns that one like mini campaign that I played, that was the one where I was a noble Ojo-sama. I have the one that is going to be starting back up where I am a paladin farm boy from like the Hicks, and then in the one that I DM, I pulled my character from that small campaign, the Ojo-sama princess, as a as someone to help the party out. She's basically she's their hard carry if they need, because that team could use some that team could use some power. So so Victoria over there is helping them out. Yeah, Clyde, my beloved, Clyde, my beloved paladin farm boy. What a goat. He fights with a pitchfork, and he doesn't trust any form of authority or government. That's my backstory for him. It's I think I told you guys a bit about that one. He it's a bit of more like a near past, like Stranger Things type setting, so like supernaturally. So Clyde, my playable character, is a farm boy from like Georgia that moved up to the setting in like Maine, and he doesn't trust the government at all. He thinks they're out to get him, and he thinks that they kidnapped his grandfather who's been missing, or that they were abducted, or he's abducted by aliens, and the agency has something to do with it. It's a bit too much of the sweet tea. Looking up more ghostly stuff, modern or still medieval D&D style. This one was modern, but the one that I'm DMing is more like medieval. But it's been pretty fun. Yeah, we'll be starting that back up. It had been on hiatus for a little bit because of some IRL stuff with the friends. Near past, yeah. It takes place like in the 90s. And I think I've talked about the campaign that I'm DMing for a little bit. I can share a little bit of info on that right now. So it takes place at a magical, or not magical academy, but like a renowned academy in the capital city of a fantasy world that treats has nobles and commoners alike. So some of the playable characters are commoners, some of them are nobles, and there's obviously like class disparities and stuff, which is pretty interesting. But then we also have religious ties and corrupt government officials and things like that. How many Ojo-samas? Just one, just my self-insert character. How much does your character freak it? My character freaks it in their own head. The voices be freaking it, Bluey. Okay. Not that I know much about D&D. I just like reading about setups and pre-made campaigns. It's honestly, I feel like, Micah, I feel like you would probably enjoy the world building and DM aspect of it. You might enjoy the playable character aspect, but I feel like you probably would get really involved with like the DMing and world building stuff. I think Bonnie would be very similar, actually. I know they do a lot of world building too, right? So like that part's fun, but it's a balance between world building and knowing the boundaries of D&D and stuff too. So has their own tabletop game. What? Do they really? I need to bother them. I haven't been able to to chat with them much recently. They always go live late when I'm asleep. You too, for that matter, but but we catch up at other times. But that's really cool. I gotta like I gotta get back in the headspace because I have a session on Friday for D&D, but I'll definitely share some stuff on like lore and world building at some point. Hang on, Discord and stuff. Nice. Yeah, I know that they'll stream every like once in a while, but yeah, I'll have to bother them. I'll slide in their DMs at some point. But I hope they're doing well. I hope their start to their 2026 has been good. Consul Clementia. Greetings, Doctor of Rhodes Island, and well met in Malarium. At long last, our first official conversation. So she's gonna know who I am, right? Even though the expectation was Calcid is kind of the leader and I'm her subordinate. Well, Calcid's the official Iberian envoy. Save your modesty, Dr. Calcid's awe-inspiring knowledge transcends the boundaries of space and time. Oh. So for her to be keeping you up her sleeve, the depths you hide must be deeper still. Whether you come to me in doubt or with conclusions of your own to share, I am prepared to listen. You sent the hunters into a literal nest of danger. You're endangering 3 of our operators. I like the way I like wording it operators. That means that we have some control here over them, right? Clocked us. Yeah, bro. Yeah, she got us. Quick scoped us. Much like Dr. Calcid, you have misgivings about this decision. Yet I had no choice but to order them to meet death in the eyes once more. My hand was forced. Only they can break our present impasse. Rational, maybe a little too rational. The legions are deployed to capacity. The Abyssal Hunters must assume combat duties. Even having recently returned to Air, you suspect the situation was deliberately engineered. I gather you returned from the city with findings of your own. The beacon weapon link was tampered with. Little handy, priority order. Contact the supervisors for beacon and class 4 weapons R&D. And notify all Legion commanders. Leave enough of your fleets at the front to curb the Seaborn and assist the hunters. The rest should withdraw in order to return to the city. The Sea Patrol will seize the beacon tower right away. You have our gratitude for informing us, Doctor. Wait, she just trusted us right away? Nod in silence. I know I owe the 2 of you an explanation for how I've deployed the Abyssal Hunters. Are you talking about me and Calcid or me and Olpianus? Oh, Calcid. Oh, Calcid's still here. Calcid, hey! What's up? What's up, Calcid? Hey! How you doing? The doctor refers to them as operators, also interesting as a demonstration of how Rhodes' patients and soldiers are just one or the other, yada yada, how we discuss personal connection. Yeah, exactly. That's what that's the human part. Like, remember the whole like IS3 thing with Mizuki? The really human aspect of them, of the doctor is great. Like the truly human part of them. We don't hold you accountable on a tactical level. You know their prowess against the Seaborn better than us. I can only say this. Your powers of observation would not have missed the scales on Gladia's neck. We can assume the hunters will have no trouble seeing this assignment through. But what was your guarantee they would be spared from mutating while in the nest? The word of Advisor Blandis and nothing more. Advisor Blandis' statement at the tribunal served to strengthen Malarium's confidence in the Abyssal Hunters. I confess, though, it failed to even ease my mind. I take it the hunters still weigh heavily on your thoughts. Ayer never truly wound down the Abyssal Hunter project following the strike on the Firstborn. I've not been involved, but my countrymen have every right to interrogate me for my awareness of it alone. For a short time after the Firstborn died, the project went through major upheavals, anomalies plagued the experiments, and the Church grew only more fixated on the Hunters. This suggests there are urgent, hidden truths about the Hunters yet to be found, yet it also proves that the project can no longer run publicly. To this day, it still operates in secret, but even now, Ayer has only 3 hunters, including Gladia. No, 4. Stall pianist. Participation as well. She's not just an op in a professional sense. Oh, true. She is still infected on the inside. You're right. Gotta keep her away from warfaring, though. For how constantly we iterate on our technology, we have never succeeded in making another abyssal hunter. No matter how stable the subject's signs and psychological indicators are, they lose their reason the moment they awaken, immediately corrupting into Seaborn. Huh. Really? I feel like this is a this has popped up in other medias as well. Not like, is it Baldur's Gate? Baldur's Gate has the thing with the Illithids. If you're still here, if you played Metroid Prime 4, they had the stuff with the like mutated enemies that you fight. With the cryosleep pods there. But this is like a trope that comes up every once in a while, right? Where, you know, like they turn into like monsters, like failed experiment type stuff. But it's interesting that they haven't been able to do it again. But I've been poked holes in stated information until they're satisfied with the rationality of it. Yeah, the hole poking. They don't even make it out of the chamber, let alone to the ocean proper. Abyssal hunters are bound by blood, we forgot. What is this blood binding them? Ooh. We don't know. What? We still don't know why Gladia's group have kept their reason intact. Sounds like they're your key to solving this, yet you chose to send them to the front. Indeed. For Gladia, Laurentina, Scotty, and all the participants, it was an irresponsible act. The front lines at the front lies at Malarium now. We made it in time to cut off the seaborne tide as it laps at dry land, but Malarium is far from impregnable. If we fail to open the waterway now, it is only a matter of time before the city is lost. The seaborne have organized to seize that waterway by the throat. Storming them head-on will invite a large-scale counterattack, at which point I fear none will survive. Is risking the hunters a necessary cost here? The hunters may well give their lives, they may well transform, but right now, they are our greatest hope. Lonnie has always been skeptical of the waterway program's feasibility. It was for that exact reason that she did not hesitate to serve as a link in its chain. Your doubts and struggles may differ, but all roads lead to the same place in the end. That seems to be an unspoken yet shared understanding among the Air. One not without its sorrows. Upon the bricks of the Sophon Theatrum entrance, the architect Martis left this maxim: there is no justice here, only the path ahead. Martis. Plugging random blood into them? Who's the father? Me. That is the question: what ties the Seaborn together as kin, and why have these four hunters resisted it? Damn, yeah. No big deal. In later generations, some criticized Martis as being overly fixated on material values, squandering his energy on comparing worth against worth. But ultimately, all that mattered to him was Air's path forward. Justice was merely a value cherished by the masses, and he preferred to apply his thought elsewhere. Perhaps Gladia and I have been acting on his philosophy without realizing it. Dr. Calcit, everything you have said rings all too true. I am bound in the end to carry Air's arrogance with me, and nothing will change that. I would like to amend that wording. Arrogance as a word seems insufficient to describe Air. You respect equally the humanity of your every citizen. To realize each individual's worth is the guiding star for your entire society's development. Yet at the same time, you are capable of making the cruelest judgments and calmly accepting them for the sake of Air's survival as a whole. Calmly, you say? We Air are not cold-blooded. Whenever you would feel wrath, our hearts are far from unstirring. These are feelings I had wished to convey to Gladia once upon a time, but I realized I had no right to. Every decision I made for her I based in pure rationality. How natural, then, that I lost that right. How dare I ask for an emotional pardon? What are you talking about? Why are you acting like you're her parent? That exact reason. Gladia's been skeptical of it, but that was because Alpianus mentioned being skeptical of it too, right? Like Alpianus said, Alpianus has been skeptical of it, and that's what the JoJo's CG was about. I see gaps where the Church of the Deep can get a foothold too. Freaking Church of the Deep. Decided their own personal ideas and bias in favor for whatever is the most rational. Just skeptical of the War Department's plan from the start. Oh, I see. Okay. Just now it's just like compounded doubt. Even more interesting that she followed through and, you know, is out there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's still doing it. So threw herself in. Yeah. Claudia's such an interesting character. I hope nothing happens to her. I think she's cooked though. I think if any of them were to not make it, it's probably gonna be her. I think she tried to stop it, but that's the nature of air that Clementia is discussing here. Yeah. The same is true even now, and so calmly I accept my own judgment. The designated individual has been contacted. Advisor Blandis did not pick up. Dr. Calcit, Doctor, I'm deeply sorry I could not give you an appropriate answer. But right now, I ask that you permit me to carry out my duty. All right. So I was like, I don't know about the timing. No, let's do BP6 after. That'll be our last story node for the night. I think it'll be a good pace. Good pace, and hopefully by next week I'll be feeling better. Oh my god, the reunion! Oh wait, no, this is a flashback. Damn it. Awake. Are they gonna kiss? Are they gonna kiss? Is this the Yaoi? Is this the Yaoi chapter? Let's go. Taking care of your wounds, you'll find 2 doses of stimulant beside you. Bring you back to your senses. Shall I administer, or would you prefer the little handy? What are you asking him? He's asking... Blandis is asking Opianus if he wants the little handy? The Yaoi radar is off the charts. Oh my god. Someone's got to get this thing back in line. That's not the right one. What? Wait, which one are you trying to... I clipped a joke back from the beginning of Siltafera and I was in prep for this exact moment. Uh-oh. All right, I'll wait. Mind in the gutter. No. Air just straight up ask, huh? No jokes, no dinner, straight up little handy invitation. I know. What the heck? What kind of relationships do these guys have? Just 0 to 100. At least he's asking though, and at least it's consensual. I have to search for it. It's a clip? I can take a peek. Because I was doing some clipping last week. Is it the you what for Brogan? You came for Brogan? Oh, it is that one? You came for the ship. I came for Brogan. You came for Brogan? What? Wait, hold on. Let me watch this in the VOD. You came for the ship. I came for Brogan. You came for Brogan? What? I've already made. I just shrugged that off and just kept going. I made the one joke and then just got back right back to it. Oh man. The whole scene of the nature of air. Okay. Fine, do it yourself. What the heck? What the? So no little handy? He has to jork it himself? Crazy. Very practiced motions. It seems you've recuperated well. Now, useless as I know it is, I do need to tell you this. You cannot keep experimenting on yourself. You'll have to cover your eyes as well to avoid looking like you've been tortured. That mask won't be enough at least. What's under his mask? Is it not like Kakashi and it's just another mask? Does he have like scars or like is he? Oh, is he covered in scales? That would make sense, right? This is what Spalter mod Y is for. Oh, is it? Okay, well, we should look at that after then. After the story. I like to think he's just like Kakashi and underneath the mask is just another mask. My wardrobe has nothing to do with my modifications. True, you've always looked that way. We've all got shivers as you entered the classroom and sat your gloomy self down. All this time we've known each other, you've barely even shown me your face. So how'd they kiss? Blandis. Given you've started cracking jokes, I take it the results are less than awful. Now that's tricky to say. The emotional ride I've been through felt like being seated next to Secunda as she sailed a patrol ship with both eyes shut. That is to say, utter madness. Did I miss the little handy line? Yeah, you missed it. My theory is, if my theory that he just spawned in the world as a grown man is correct, the mask spawned in too. So he thinks that's his face. I have no reason not to believe that at this point. No, Spectre would spend ages trying to figure out what's under the mask using more elaborate tricks. Oh, absolutely. There would absolutely be a filler episode of Spectre trying to see what's under the mask and trying to convince Scotty and Gladia to help her out. Hey Toad, how's it going? Welcome in. What was the line? I'll show you. I'll show you. Shall I administer or would you prefer the little handy? Man said to another man. Boyfriend said to boyfriend. Incredible, right? Absolute cinema. First of all, I noticed the baffling effect in your auto-adaptive junction. Your body's reaction is bizarre. When the Seaborn genes exert their abnormal dominance, your anti-Seaborn rejection response doesn't intensify. No, it actually lightens somewhat. Which means my transformation's getting faster? No, quite the opposite. It was right as I was canceling the surgery that I observed a curious phenomenon. Once your rejection ebbed, your Seaborn genetics slowed down their influence. As if to be crude, your body and the seaborn genes had reached some sort of understanding. This is certainly worth further study, but for now, I need to know one thing. Will this impact the hunters in their upcoming battle? Slaying the firstborn will be our single most important operation since we were created. At this point, I will allow no freak accidents. I've observed no negative effects so far. I'll be setting up a few more risk assessments before you head out. That said, if we're going to figure out what's underpinning this phenomenon, then you'd best come back alive, so I have something to study it all. I'll be honest, I'm anxious. We've never waged a war on this scale before. We're marching every abyssal hunter, plus 3 whole standing legions, off into a single trench. If not with a war like this, how would we ever kill their Genozoic, their source of their god? You truly believe we can polish off the Seaborn just like that once and for all? You've worked with us for over a decade, and you still have doubts about the Hunter Project. Do you want the truth? The truth is, I should have vetoed this project at the audit stage. A roadmap to warping evolution, predicted on sacrificing our own people's humanity. If not for you, I wouldn't have even entertained its feasibility, let alone poured 10 years of my own blood and sweat into it. But it's a sunk cost now. The more I doubt it, the more crucial it is for me to be its core member, to steer it with my own 2 hands. He loves you, bro. You must channel the Yaoi brainpower to actually digest what is being discussed here. Ah, crap. What? Huh? Episode reminds me of the Let's Get Kakashi's Max Off. Yeah, exactly. Is the second one underneath. Still typing. Accidental enters a no. About his motivations, about just like keeping people alive. Yeah. Well, now this is probably back to like the previous parts on like air and like the not practicality but most rational. Like it probably is the most rational thing for him to just tough it out and keep going and try and try and keep things going with the Hunter program, right? This is quite the instruction, I know, right? Details on LP's auto adaptive junction are there, which is his own side thing. That's an action collection to make. See, I told you, I pick up on things. Good point out. Alpianus is standing at like a 30-degree angle sideways, and he's still wider at the shoulders than Bland is. Bro is not natty. Alpianus is wide, bro. He's got broad shoulders. Sacrifice of the few for survival of the many. You think Blandis subscribes to that, Concon? Is that like his rationality you're saying? Or is the biggest hits in the Abyssal Hunters? Probably. Absolutely. That's another filler episode where they are all measuring their cup sizes, and it turns out LPNS has the largest bra. Tell us why LPNS didn't succumb to the Seaborn surgical process wise. Well, they said they like stopped like the transformation like stopped, so they like kind of it like regressed instead of progressing at a certain point for some reason, and they want to study that further. They don't know. Scrub to the rationality of the hunters are the best / only workable solution, so they have to keep working on it. Yeah. That makes sense. I don't know if it's necessarily like sacrifice though. It's definitely more like maybe kind of like an eggs in one basket type thing almost. Like he's just like, hey, this is probably our best shot, so let's give it all we have. The joke is a reference to the fact that Archer Fates United canonically has a larger bust than the entire female cast. Good. As he should. As he should. Yet I can't shake the thought of how many monsters this lab's created. Especially now, right? They haven't been able to make any more Abyssal Hunters. The majority of which were put down by your own two hands, Elpianus. Yes. Their deaths don't even qualify as sacrifices to you, do they? A homeland ravaged by Seaborn will only wrest away even more Air lives. We've had this debate 1,000 times. We don't need another before I leave. Get the risk assessments going. Furthermore, suspend all ongoing hunter modification trials. Come again? With no hunters present, it would be difficult to deal with any aberrant results. Aberrant. Well, Pianist, you've been the director of the Abyssal Hunter project for its entire lifespan, and you can't even be fully confident in it, can you? That's the real reason you chose to be the first subject. Damn, old Pianist's kind of like the Doctor in some ways. Old Pianist's kind of like the Doctor in some ways, doing the self-experimentation on the thing that they're studying. In this campaign, put the Seaborn crisis to rest, yes or no? Even you can't be sure. Blandis. No. Oh, Pianist, I've spent each and every day hoping, more than anyone, that this will end in victory. Maybe when you sail back safe and sound, the project will have no more reason to exist. Think we could even pick up where we left off on all our old research. You barely even remember, do you? Well, I ran into our old teacher at the council. He asked about that dream of ours. The evolution of air cells. It made for no particularly grand abstract, but glimpsing the whole course we've run from a microscopic cross-section, that's a beautiful pursuit, and no one can tell me otherwise. From our ancestors swaying their limbs in the rivers eons ago, to us here and now, as we debate science and ideals, there is a flow to it all, in order of events. It's not too late for us to witness it, is it? Hey! You finally came, old Pianist! Oh my god, that little hand, he took a while. Oh my god, he was waiting years for that. Holy crap. 5 years of edging. All the payoff. Oof. All hunters are doomed to inevitably assimilate with the Seaborn, so their fates are sealed. True. Raise more questions about Andriana. I don't know anything about Andriana, really. She just gets mentioned every once in a while. Just know already, what did you say about the junctions? Did you say that why they rejected? I think it was kind of like they don't really know, right? Like Blandis wanted to look more into it, but they said like they just kind of started regressing rather than progressing at a certain point. Like they reached some like threshold and they started like just kind of like just stopped. Like the evolution just stopped. You won't even resort to flaunting your wretched sense of humor as a plea. Wretched sense of humor, Secunda would agree with you. You know, she's really grown to resemble you over the years. I fear we'll have another you on our hands someday. Oh, that was what he was saying, saying like, oh, we don't need another old pianist. Along with the countless other yous born by or against their will, throwing themselves into the fight against the Seaborn and perishing in combat until the sores are choked in Air's blood. It grieves me how she's changed. The changes in you, though, I can barely begin to comprehend. Stop what you're doing right now and explain your game to me, Blandis, cultist of the deep. I knew it. I told you we shouldn't trust him. He gave the same vibes as Quintus. Oh my god. Landis, no. No. Not the toxic Yowie. Unbelievable. Tragic, doomed Yowie. You're late. I've hardly anything for you to stop now. He's already late just minutes after he came. Unbelievable. Truly tragic. Just a moment ago, my holo chart received a signal from Nest 37. The final beacon is activated, and the Class 4 weapons are warming up. You're not putting this one down, Olpianus. And if you hope to learn what the church is planning, I can't help you. They were tripping over themselves to protect me out of their own wishful thinking, and then one day they went and changed their minds. If not for their actions, I know I might have been caught long ago. No, though, I've never counted myself among their members. I can't even make heads or tails of their warped doctrine. Wasn't purely the regression. Did it like, was it just like rejection then? Yeah, like the sort of understanding was the interesting part. I thought that was kind of like metaphorical. Still, if you're asking what drove me to do all this, I would love to bend your ear. Excellent, then I won't need to resort to violence. Violence. Still, taking that as your first impulse, if it weren't for the embarrassing situation you've put yourself in, I'm sure the Institute of Development Planning would love to have a chat with you. Want to know something? It took only moments after the failed campaign for them to declare you all dead. Then soon enough, the Institute came to me with an invitation to restart the Hunter Project. Ooh. Wasn't even failed though, because they did kill the firstborn, but there just was others. Institute. I know I told you guys we shouldn't have. Can't trust the government. Told you guys we got to get our tinfoil hats on. You haven't seen the casualty report for that campaign yet, have you? You should have read. Abyssal Hunters, Legionnaires, their sacrifice is a tragedy, yet the ending a farce. Violent resistance was always a dead end. The project was dead in the water from the start. Granted, Ayers never used crude platitudes or propaganda to encourage such sacrifice. Every one of the project subjects was given the freedom to make informed decision. Anything else about what he said? What do you mean? But using the sacrifice of our citizens as a market standard, well, that makes the very question of free choice much ado about nothing. Once an Ayer's worth lay in all that they had built up and created during their life, and now our very lives, even our deaths, are price tagged. Damn. That's crazy. Need to make a list of things to ask about now. Oh man, I don't know if you're gonna get good answers. But I do want to call attention to more talks on like worth and value that we have been talking about for a bit, right? Whether the different Church of the Deep cultists have been motivated. Oh, what, between Quintus, Amaya, and Blandis? You can try and answer anyway. I can try and answer anyway, and I will. Just all I'm asking, Ivy, is that you can't get too judgmental if it's not a very good series of words that come out of my mouth after. Okay, that's all. That's all. That's all it is. That's all it is. I'll always try my best. Give it my all. Oh, I'm gonna be the #1 hero. You'll judge it other ways. I know you will. That's the problem. But yeah, I'm not prepared to talk Church of the Deep stuff, I don't think. But the stuff about the value and worth is interesting, right? I guess if you relate that to Blandis and his, like, is he seeing his worth as protecting lives, or his value is keeping air going? Like, it's a different, it's very different. It's a different lens for the Church of the Deep. That's why it's like it's a little surprising that he is with them, actually. I know it was like, I know I should have trusted him, but I didn't expect him to be with the Church of the Deep, to be honest. Though he did say, he's like, I don't actually like really like ally with them. What was his words? Yeah, it's like, if you hope to learn what the church is playing, I can't help you. Yeah, you finally came. What's up, Dark? Welcome back. How's it going? The real path of life is the chicken wings we ate along the way. Oh my god, that's crazy. Dark, how you doing? Welcome in. I will record your words even though it's pointless. Blandis, I expected your suspicion and dissent to drive you to search deeper, not to reduce the cowardly, self-deceiving man you are now. Whether out of passion or mourning, it's still the same brand of rhetoric spouted by every fallen, claiming to foresee the fall of Aer itself. Assigning a character to a nation, anthropomorphizing it to critique its values. Even as a method of inflating one's ego, it's shoddy at best. But even as you weep over the senseless sacrifice, have you ever never imagined how many lives your destruction of the waterway program will take? Destruction? No, Alpianus, I'm trying to open up a true path for us. What have you done? Now, Alpianus, be patient. I have nothing to hide. Sleazy little squid. Blandis brushes past Alpianus and stops before the hollow chart. With his back to his old friend, he passes a finger over the sea of glowing dots and points to a flashing spot in the top right corner. Lawrence would be willing to eat a sea urchin, or would he be cringe? Wouldn't that be cannibalism? I like your note about altruism motivating him, or selfishness. Is it altruism for the safety of the hunters, for the reduction of violence, or is it selfishness, guilt at sending off these people to fight? Guilt is an interesting look at it, but I don't know. He seems a little combative right now, but it's kind of like the classic like villain caught me in my scheme type shit. So like I got to see how the rest of this plays out to get a better read. I think. I think we're too in the middle of this. See that? That's where the hunters are right now. They activated the last beacon and are probably caught in a deadly struggle, but they aren't in any danger. Any true danger, that is. The moment they can fight no more, that's when the weapons kick in. The Seaborn will cease fighting. Every last one thronging one of them will fall asleep. Keep going. If you remember your auto-adaptive junction tech, you'll have no trouble to understanding what I tell you next. That old surgical accident I had. Look at his squinting eyes, squints. Well, you were right. It was absolutely worth the further study. The junction brought about a homeostasis in you. On the microscopic level, your body no longer rejected the Seaborn genes, and they miraculously stopped overtaking you. Oh, it was homeostasis. Okay. That makes sense. Liberia eat foul beast wings all the time. Is that true? That's a problem. Interesting. But yeah, I gotta know if Alpianus has any scales on him though. Because if he does, considering IS3 ending 4 was the good ending. Ending 4 was the good ending, right? Or are they going to the sky? Huh. Well, IS3 ending 4, not IS4, right? Hold on. Now I'm getting a little too whirly brained. Because let's just say for a second that let's just say for 61 degrees the typing is taking longer because hands are cold. Why don't you have heat on? Micah, get a blankie. My head's going to whirly mode because hold on for a second, guys. Hold on for a second. What is happening with Ulpianus? All right, hold on. I want to take a few characters as some case studies. So take Ulpianus and Spectre. Ulpianus. No, take Ulpianus, Gladia, and Spectre. Ulpianus is technically the patient 0, but and has like the different what's it called, auto adaptive thing. So but if he is now not going to turn into a Seaborn, does that mean that then Gladia will get like some scales, but she won't fully transform either? And then further down the chain, Spectre, who is infected, how do those relate? Or in other words, what if you did the Abyssal Hunter process on someone that was already infected? How would that, like, what if you did the Abyssal Hunter thing to someone who's infected? I'd be curious to know how it would behave in someone who isn't an Ayer. Like, is that a requirement? Why didn't they do a case study? Why didn't they have someone of another race? So if they Abyssal Hunter someone that's infected, does that keep them from succumbing to Orpathy? And if everyone is an Abyssal Hunter, is Orpathy a threat anymore? No, right? I would consider Orpathy. Well, that's not. This is where what I'm thinking about. Like, how fruitful is this research? Claudia's most worried about the mutation factor, right? But like, we need to see like cells fighting off Originium, but it's been creeping up. Wonder, yeah, I don't know, right? It's obviously very hypothetical, but single bear wins Dark 10 times out of 10. You know the deal with Spectre and Orpathy? Yeah, Concon, we read her files. So we know about like how she's infected, but she has like really low the volume or whatever metric. Ayer had never reached out to other nations. I doubt they would have anyone else to test on, right? But like, what if they did? You know, that's what I'm wondering. Would Seaborn genes help humanity? Yes, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. This isn't the specific side that I was thinking you'd speculate in. No, I told you, I've been thinking high level the entire time with this event. I'm not as much in the weeds for some of these. Because the whole time, like I said at the start, my question is like, why, what is the thing that is forcing them to come to contact land now after all this time? Is there a greater threat in the ocean? If so, what do they hope to accomplish by contacting land? Is it stuff with this research or what? Did you not put that? Huh? But there's an awkward balance between bring a constant state of dying and regenerating. The seaborne cells keep regenerating, but the orbithy keeps killing part of her off. You specifically explained why they contacted? Huh? What do you mean? I meant why they didn't before. When did they say that? Well, that's like gloss. So when was that said? Yeah, I don't remember any specific. Was it in the conversation with Clementia?
Larry.
No. Hidden before because of arrogance, and what would caveman provide? The only reason they're contacting now is because the waterway project is explicitly close to Iberia, so they're forced to work here or reaching out to final strike the seaborne. I did not pick up on that then. Huh. Yeah, I did not get that. But okay. So it still boils down to the arrogance part though. There's still that underlying arrogance. All right, let's keep going. It may have been by chance, but in no time at all, I was able to reproduce your phenomenon on the macro scale. To an extent, I could delete the hostility seaborne board towards humankind. Ooh. And before Gladia's unit left for Nest 37 during their surgery, I took the opportunity to reproduce that accident of yours. You wanted to recreate in the hunters an accident with no proven explanation, no clear effects, and not even a trace of actual, rigorous verification. I don't know about that one. Well, we're going to want to talk about this one a bit. Malaran being unusually close to land. Yeah. Air getting rapidly choked out by the seaborne adaptation. Right, that's why they're doing the waterway project in the first place, right? No. What happened in your body has long since graduated from freak accident. While you were missing, I spent every waking moment on the research. I trusted you hunters were still alive. Trusted you would come back and that I could help you be free of that blasted fate of yours. Why are you talking about fate now? You were taken aback by us talking about fate like 15 minutes ago. Or, I don't know, maybe an hour ago. He was like, bro had a flabbergasted sprite when we were talking about fate. If Eric could complete the project without contacting Iberia, they probably would. Yeah, you're right. Do you recall how he was surprised at the way we conceptualized it? Never have to miss Betty's story reading to make dinner. You gotta get your he learned a new word today, just wants to show it off. Oh my god. He conceptualized it a differently than our approach. I don't recall offhand what he was saying. He talked about it as it related to like people of older times. Vodka, I'll be curious on your thoughts with underwater and Dwayne. Is that Concon saying that because I also had that thought? Yeah, that's what Concon said. He just wants to flex the new word. Magic Man runs from fate but believes fate is inevitable. Fate is inevitable. Interesting. Give or take on fate. But Blandis is complicated then, because like, what are his motivations? Because I don't know, the words that he's saying makes it seem like it could be like kind of a good thing. As a choice, fate is something you cannot stop, but can still make choice to fight against. But you refused to restart the Abyssal Hunter project. How did you? Are you experimenting on yourself? No wonder your body stinks of miasma. My physical condition doesn't hold a candle to yours naturally. Oh. Is that also why he rejected Secunda? Did he reject Secunda for her own well-being? He did say something along the lines of like, because you know, because she had other aspirations, and he was like, nah, go do those. So he was saving her. I was right. I'm right. Just say it. Just say yes, you're right. Don't send smile. Say yes, you are right. Good job. That's what you're supposed to say. Line from Game of Thrones that I also think applies perfectly to all pianists. Robert was the true steel. Renly was copper, bright, shiny, and nice to look at, but not worth all that much at the end of the day. Stannis was black iron, hard and strong, but brittle the way iron gets. He'll break before he bends. Ooh. Damn. Is with respect to more than just Secunda. It's why he tried not to fix the Hunters trio. You're correct, sir. Well done. Thank you, Bluey. Thank you. He's got a little bit of a savior complex. No, not really, but... Interesting. Okay. I haven't much longer now. I can practically feel each second of my life slipping away. But it was worth it. I've done all I needed to do. Now that I'll give a good job to... Wait, you do think savior complex? I was thinking of that in like a much more negative light, but okay. I'll take it. The conceit of arrogance. Depends on if there's a color. Ah, okay. Used to good ends, but it's still a bad trait. Yeah, okay. Hence the complication, and it's all, honestly, it's pretty on brand with Ayers in general then, in terms of like arrogance, right? And stubbornness. That makes sense. All right, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. I don't get why it's so complex. You can fix everything. Yeah. Altruism and trying to think burden from others, but how arrogant to think you can fix everything by yourself. Yes. That is him. The individual, the individual aspect of it. I see you. I see you. Save the assumption you could figure things out better for them than they can. He was talking about sunk cost fallacy earlier, wasn't he, though? Did he bring up sunk cost fallacy? Is that he can't trust anyone else but himself to do the job? He's the hero. He's the only one that he can do it in his head. Yeah. Huh. Pretty easily make the argument that Priestess has savior complex. She's just a fucking whore. Lack of emotional communication really contributes to all this. Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Wendy. Yeah. We were talking about the emotion and like disattachment or whatever word Micah had said at some point. That's absolutely a big factor. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. I see it. I see it. Detachment. Yeah. Getting echoes of Laterano problems, but much worse. Yes. Yes, absolutely. How Horatio always had a plan for her. Mother knows best. In the same vein, trying to stop the hunters who chose this path because he believes he can choose better for them. He knows that violence is terrible, that they should not subject themselves to not fixing the hunters. Rejecting Secunda. How's everybody stupid? Or the Beyond Here story. Recap me. Some cost fallacy is that the hunter program started. He's the only one who can morally steer it in the right direction, even though he hated the idea of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sunk cost fallacy is such an interesting thing to dive into, though. I really do. It's such a very interesting topic. First Unda. Do you want to be first Unda, Dark? Third Unda. Third Unda. We're already up to our third Unda. What's next? Fourth Unda? Fuck everything. Fourth Unda. Oh my god. The fact that Iberia directly adopted that from Laterano. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Freaking Lat. Everything is freaking the MAGA grandpa's fault. What's the Sancta guys that we just got, the old man character? Everything's his fault. Patrizion. Everything's Patrizion's fault. Bluey, thanks for the hydrate. Everything's always Patrizion's fault. Patrizion strays never ends. Nope, they never will. Neither will Priestess ones. Priestess deserves the worst. Good intentions, terrible reason. Heidi and doing the right thing, doing a bad deed like lying, but following all our faith through redemption. No, I don't. I don't remember it. I'm sorry. Priest deserves it. Absolutely. Everything's worth it. Enemy Stendo Sky. When is Patrician going in the cage? He's too big. We don't. There's no cage is large enough for him. I haven't caged anyone in a minute though. The last person I caged was Hot Dog Man, right? You're talking to the bishop. Oh, it was a generic bishop, not necessarily Church of the Deep. Oh, and it was Joel? Old Joel or something? Aya Totter Hot Dog Man, yep. I guess we could put Patrician in there. He deserves it. Piece of shit. Grimson need a zoo type cage. One with Beanstalk and Utaget. Oh, that one. Where they were sharing like horror stories. Well, yeah, but then there was like that one like flashback story with old Joel or something. Yeah. No, I kind of remember it. It's like the guy who like lied or whatever. It was the you know what we talked about? It was like the Christmas special for Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, where where they both need to get they both sell something that they have to get something for the other person, but then that person can't end up using that because they sold that respective item so they could get a gift for the other person. It was that same vicious cycle thing. Yeah, that was that story. I do remember that one. The, like, harmonica case or whatever. All right, keep going. Tell me, old pianist, that the hunters were born to be a solution, not a tool, not a weapon, not a consumable destined to be tossed aside. They were. Good. Then the project was a failure, but the hunters still have a chance to fulfill their calling, yet not through senseless slaughter and sacrifice. You'll live to show your worth, not die to give air a few more final gasps. The Abyssal Hunters will be the start of a revised relationship between humanity and the Seaborn. If I can have them mistake humankind as their own, then maybe I can get them many to see air as a neighbor. Are you serious? I like how my reaction was literally just I don't know about this one, man. I mean, this is like some random shit. Like you're sitting at a conference room table. You're like, all right, guys, we got this crisis. You know, no idea is a bad idea. And then Blandis is just like, hey, let's just make everyone a Seaborn, and then they'll just ignore us. And then the person standing at the front is like, okay, there's no bad ideas except whatever the fuck Blandis just said. Now, who else has an idea? And then they're like, oh, the Waterway Project. Okay, yeah, let's go. I mean, the thing is like, Old Pianist did, we'll take a last push it somewhere else. It, so, like, I don't know, there was that CG where Old Pianist was standing in the nest and, the Seaborn were just, like, swimming around him. And now what? They just showed the Because I was trying to think, because like Scotty, because Scotty, Glotty, and Spectre would need to fight them. They would get attacked, and they were like attracted to their blood and stuff. But he just changed something in their recent surgery, because they were in a nest and they're perfectly fine now. He said they're not in any true danger, so I don't know. Hypothetical perfect solution, but how feasible is it really? These bad ideas just seems impossible because it is something we don't want. Yeah, I mean, like, not really feasible. Can't make everyone. You just make everyone an Abyssal Hunter. He's incredibly unaware of the scale of the Seaborn. Didn't they want to take back one of the specimens to have him study? It's interesting. And you had your eyes on the Waterway program all along. More precisely, the Waterway program came to me first. Anyone can cook ideology. What if you utilize something about the Seaborn instead? Our kin? The wee many? We're just reinventing empathy. We're just becoming Sancta. The fuck? Clementia reached out to me practically at the same time as the Institute. She let me in on both the game plan for the Waterway program and the research project for the Class 4 weapon array. Weapons rooted in biotech like them can impact Seaborn behavior at large. The theory grounding them has a natural affinity with the auto-adaptive junctions. By then, I'd already gathered the data I needed to perfect the junction tech, to the point that it was no longer limited to human subjects anymore. So I made a tiny little tweak to the Class 4s. The instant they activate, we can close the book on our fight with the Seaborn. Blandis, why are you doing all these things that making me need to pause all the time? Underwater Anduin rejecting empathy parallel. If it was hypothetically possible, well, listen, Mike, you heard where my brain was going. I was like, let's make everyone an Abyssal Hunter, and then we cure orpathy. If we were to reach a form of symbiosis the way Ulpianus has, would that be good? I mean, I don't know all the details about Ulpianus. What are the side effects that he has? Theoretically, it's good, but might logistically be bad. If he's covered in scales, but he can't get like what's the difference? You're trading covering yourself with rocks from orpathy or covering yourself with scales as an Abyssal Hunter. Like which three-dimensional body dysmorphia do you need? The Abyssal Hunter is the Class 4s. It all transcends the boundary of species. It'll become a path, a bridge, a path of life. A path of life! Water Sanctum without the guns, the halos, or the wings. But there is water goo. There is water goop. There is gaba goop all over the place. You can't make this up. 2 centuries of constant war between air and Seaborn, and one little trick is likely all it takes to stop it. He is a little cocky, huh? Maybe the severity of this war was a fiction from the very beginning. Now, I mean no offense to our predecessors, but at least we still have the power to choose a different path. Not that I'll get to see it. The rest is out of my hands. At least I was lucky enough in the end to see you at the Sophon Theatrum. You're the one who started the Hunter Project. You know your way around the self-adaptive junctions, and you've been through all this. Only you, Ulpianus. Only you can keep the work going. That's a big burden to push on him. What? Is that why you were so blithely waiting for my arrival? You can trust your work to me before you die. It's my turn to invite you. Air and the Seaborn have the chance at achieving true symbiosis. Perhaps that's a future you wouldn't mind bearing witness to. I refuse. I did expect that, but still, that was a little too blunt. Remember the end of Master Travels when a black rock fell into the ocean? Soon we can have both. What? Say that again. She seems to hit that perfect balance minus the whole mental health thing, but she managed it. Right. That's why she's like the really interesting case study, in my opinion. Perhaps we should assume he doesn't remember. He doesn't remember. What was that noise? Was that my cat? Hang on a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Cat was making like a weird noise from across the room. I had to go check, make sure everything was all good. But we were good. Yeah, no, all good. I'm not muted. You're muted. I'm not muted, right? I'm not muted. I'm not muted. Yeah, we're good. Scared me for a second. Oh, my Twitch is fucking up. Oh my god. Yeah, cat's good. I think she was either she either got like a dust bunny up her nose or something, or I don't know what it was. But like a deaf quick talk about Federico. You just have to refresh. You're good. You're good. Yeah, all good. It was just like an alarming sound that I heard. I was like, what the? And it was like a couple in succession. So I was like, huh, I gotta go check this out. So. I thought Mike was trolling. I was about to jump in too. I would have been pissed. Don't do that to me. I get stressed out. I was literally looking. I was like, the light isn't on. It says my Go XLR says I'm not muted. My chat mic is getting picked up. I'm seeing audio in Twitch. Going crazy. And like vodka responded to something that I said. So I was like, what? Huh? I was so confused. Anyway, yeah, sorry. I got taken very much out of whatever the hell we were just talking about. I'm gonna need a minute to like get to get back in. I had to pull my headspace out entirely to make sure everything was okay. How mean is everyone to you? Everyone's so mean to me. Okay, what were we saying? I don't remember momentary minutes of the end of the masses travels. Seaborn. Originium rolled into the ocean. That happened at the end of masses travels. Really? I don't remember that. Very interesting concept in Blandis is self-sacrifice. I see you. I get it. Alright, let's keep going. During the meanwhile showcase of stuff. Huh. That feels like a big thing to be subtly mentioning. Cut to Columbia, chapter 15 character. And the forest where the creature was. Oh. I remained on for 41 hours and remembered, so that's on you. Listen, you had more reason to care. And also, I didn't have any abyssal history at that point, so the blue spacesuit thing, I love. I'm so interested in that character. What is it? The so the P, like the presence. So when carrying out lemon under the bus like this, hey, it's different. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Yeah, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. But yeah, I didn't have that much. I didn't have any air or underwater knowledge at that point, so I probably didn't realize the significance of it, to be completely honest. I think it was like I probably didn't realize that there just simply wasn't originium in the ocean. You know, like we read that before we even did Granny. So I think all you said was, oh, that doesn't seem good. If you could get a clip for that, I would love to see that. I don't know when it was in, but Masses Travels, we should have the stages on the screen that we were doing. So gotta love my just deadpan reactions, right? That doesn't seem good. Pepe event rerun tried to play Blatro. Oh my god, I remember that game. That mini game was fun. That one was good. Literally the final 3 lines of the event. Fuck you. Okay, I'll pull it up. Brain fog setting in. Yeah, I'm dying, Bluey. I'm dying. Remember me. Finale. You soon finale. Did I not write Masses Travels finale? Don't worry, I'm grabbing. Okay, you got it. You got it. I believe in you. Okay. Well, pianist, this is the control room where I'll die, but Blandis, even if your death is certain, you must know you have no right to go regretting anything, fighting anything. There was a time not so long ago when we ventured to make sense of the meaning of our existence by studying how our own Aegirian cells had evolved. But you've ruined everything you had with your own hands, all for one wild flight of fancy. The Seaborn are noxious scourge upon the ocean. There's no point in doubting that. They are beings full of unknowns. You believe in symbiosis with them, as if they're your friends. Blandis, that is the same arrogance the Aer had in assuming victory was inevitable. No, this is that 100 times over. Are you even aware of what you're thinking? Can you describe this hopeful vision you see in your fantasies of symbiosis? Are the Seaborn to be magical seafloor fairies spoken of in children's stories? Or will they be our beloved household pets? We're just turning everyone into Venom. This is the way to get through this is Venom, I guess. Gotta find Tom Hardy. You have no right to go regretting anything. Ooh. Will Gladia debate philosophy with them? Will Scotty take tea time with them? Will Laurentina be dancing with them? Oh, he talks about them. That's cute. Ooh, Blandis. You can't paint even a single proper picture, can you? Your own proven record as the scientist you were thrown away. When I see you now, Blandis, I can only laugh. I've never heard you say so much in one breath, oh pianist. You mean to tell me you despair, yes? Oh, the CG's crazy. The only one who ever despaired was you. Despaired. Yo. Holy crap. Blandis back shots. So you have no right to go regretting anything, fighting anything, not in front of me. Every fallen must be sentenced, and their every corpse should be hung from the dry reefs. Blandis back I know I said it, but reading it back is funny. I gotta mix up. You went, well, perfect time to start the Seaborn stuff. You said that doesn't seem good elsewhere. Oh, do you know where I said that doesn't seem good though? The Omega death glare for this one, literally. So much emotion in that 1 inch of skin. A gunshot. Execution. Is it even in you to sentence me? The campaign to slay the Firstborn was full of questionable points, and you stand as the greatest suspect. Everything you've done now puts you at odds with Aer. This nation has rejected you. And so I have no choice but to take on your noble work. The man I knew would never have given this con man's rhetoric. I'm simply stating the facts. Then in this moment, the last I will ever spend as an Aer, And in this moment, the last I will ever spend as an Aer, I sentence you. Blandis says nothing back. Perhaps he's lost the energy or given up on retorting. This dialogue of monologues has dragged on long enough, but the point has begun to wear on him. The golden hollow chart ripples before him. Too bright, he thinks, and so he closes his eyes. Damn. From somewhere, a communication intrudes and shatters the brief silence. With it, he hears the shrill grinding of his old friend's anchor being dragged across the floor. But only one thought makes it in time. He couldn't even give the hunters a welcome home hug. Damn. Blandis. Oh, that doesn't seem good when the chapter 15 thing happened. Oh. Rip Blandis, I guess. Rip Bozo. I don't know. Complicated character. Interesting guy. Got in his own way. Bit of a problem. Bit of a good guy. Bit of a bad guy. Morally gray, as all the Arknights characters are. You know how this goes. We've read stories before. Everyone's morally gray. No one's a good person. No one's a bad person, necessarily. A week to make an annotated PDF of the screen reader. Oh my gosh. I'll let you do that because I think it's time for me to clock out. Unfortunately, I think I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. So, home stretch for Path of Life, guys. We only got a couple more. I think. Who said working? Yes, no, perfectly working. Not quite overworking. I think two more streams is probably accurate. I think that's what we'll shoot for next week. So nice work. Okay, you guys. Overworking can be relative. Fair enough, Bluey. Well said. Well said. Because I am still not feeling super great. So, as always, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Whether you're lurking, chatting here the whole time, you're part of the time. Thank you for the support. Whether you're on the Twitch side, YouTube side, both sides, thank you. I appreciate you. We are going to be concluding this stream on the YouTube side. So YouTube side, thank you for hanging out. If you guys are over on YouTube side, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. YouTube side, we'll be back tomorrow for Fate Stay Night Part 2. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Take care, YouTube side. Everybody say bye, YouTube. Bye, YouTube. Bye. Bye, YouTube. Bye, YouTube. See ya. Bye.